love a buttered biscuit.
Dropped a grumpy, pardon the term, onto the bed.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're at. I hope that you're doing well today. Good to see all of you fine folks out there. We'll let everybody just start coming on in here nice and easy like. It's beautiful, beautiful day today. Sorry we didn't do anything last night. There was a 3D world thing that happened going on with me last night, which was beautiful. Just a thing that my wife does every year that, I have to attend. I mean, I don't have to, but I like to. It's fun. It's good people. Have a good time with it. And, it's a night out with the wife. Nothing wrong with that. Sorry, I'm rolling up my sleeves, trying to get ready for tonight, because what happens on day 5. Now, a lot of you might not know what happens on day 5, but day 5 is Johnny Depp's opening statements. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. Hey, Rabbit, how's it going? Good to see you, Rabbit. Good to see you. Yes, those are my links. And of course, I am dual streaming with the lovely Jessica today. You'll see her come showing up. If you're wondering why you're not seeing me over on Jessica, or you're not seeing Jessica on her channel, is because she has things to do before she gets here. So once she gets here, she will join in the fun. But today we've got where we left off on Tuesday, and we'll just go ahead and get into it because it's interesting, but not as interesting as it gets with Johnny Depp. So without further ado, I'll bring this up and we'll just get into this thing. Let me get my little thing happening here. Well, I don't mean it like that, but the emoji. So, and yes, remember, change from top chat to live chat. See all the spicy comments as they come in. Hopefully we don't have too many spicy comments. We keep it nice and clean. For those that are over on Rumble, greetings and salutations. Make sure you hit that like, and if you haven't subscribed to it. There's also Jessica Reloaded that you can subscribe to, and her links are in the chat or in the description, so you should be able to pull those up and enjoy that good stuff. But here we go. We'll just go ahead and start out with this thing. If you have any problems with the audio, well, my apologies. Hopefully you can hear me nice and loud and clear, and when Jessica gets in here, we'll make sure that her volume is heard as well. So here we go.
Would you please state your full name for the record?
Keenan Wyatt.
Mr. Wyatt, where do you live?
Thousand Oaks, California.
What do you do for a living?
Excuse me. I'm a sound technician on feature films.
How long have you been a sound technician on feature films?
Over 35 years.
Would you please briefly describe for the jury what a sound technician on films does?
Well, technically just do the dialogue recording while on the set, so it's as clean as possible.
Do you know Johnny Depp?
Yes, I do.
How do you know Mr. Depp?
I've known Johnny for over 25 years, and we're good friends.
Have you ever worked with Mr. Depp?
Yes, I have.
For how many of Mr. Depp's films have you worked with him as the sound technician?
Dozens of films.
Would you please just name a few of them for the jury, if you can remember?
I've done the 5 Pirates of the Caribbean movies, Alice in Wonderland, Rum Diary, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Ninth Gate, Lone Ranger, number of films.
What part did Mr. Depp play in the 5 Pirates of the Caribbean movies?
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Are you, Mr. Wyatt, are you currently employed by Mr. Depp?
No.
Have you ever been employed by Mr. Depp?
No.
Have you ever been paid by Mr. Depp?
No.
Have you ever worked for any of Mr. Depp's companies?
Yes, I worked for Infinitum Nile.
When was the last time you worked for Infinitum Nile?
Last time I was there was probably 2017. I worked on a contract basis with them, not as an employee.
And would you very briefly describe for the jury what work you did for Infinitum Nile in 2017?
I ran the media library with them, did some archiving, recording, editing, things like that.
How would you describe briefly your working relationship with Mr. Depp in the 25 years or so that you've worked together?
Johnny's great to work with on films. He always comes very prepared and knows what he wants to do and makes it for a fun day when we're shooting.
With what directors have you and Mr. Depp worked together?
Many directors, but we've done several films, multiple films with multiple directors, like Tim Burton, Gore Verbinski, Rob Marshall. We've done multiple films with them.
Why did you and Mr. Depp work with those directors more than once?
Johnny makes it easy to work with.
Foundation.
Your Honor, he's laid the foundation. He's worked with Mr. Depp for 25 years on more than 10 feature films.
And relevance.
I'll allow it. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Why did you
Shut up, Elaine.
Why did you and Mr. Depp work with those directors more than once?
Well, the directors like working for him. He comes
Objection,
with.
hearsay, move to strike.
Your Honor, you just allowed the question.
I'll allow it. Go ahead.
Johnny makes it easy to work with. He comes prepared. He knows what he wants to do with the characters, and he collaborates very well with the directors.
Is Pirates 5 one of the feature films on which you worked together with Mr. Depp?
Yes.
Was Mr. Depp ever late to the set on Pirates 5?
Yes.
Do you know why Mr. Depp was late on those occasions?
Well, arguing going on between him and Amber.
Objection, hearsay,
I'll
foundation.
sustain the objection.
Yeah,
What
I figured
base-
she was
strike that.
sustain that one.
Did you communicate with crew members on the set of Pirates 5?
Every day, yes.
Was Mr. Depp's lateness a problem for the crew?
Objection, calls for hearsay.
All right, I'll sustain as to what the crew may have told him.
Well, I was just asking the threshold question of whether he had spoken with the crew.
You're right. I'll sustain the objection.
Putting aside occasional lateness on the set of Pirates 5, was production of Pirates 5 ever suspended for any period of time?
Objection, calls for hearsay, foundation. How
What?
would he know that?
No, if you can ask how he knew it, you want to lay the foundation.
How did you know whether production of Pirates 5 was ever suspended?
I was on the film. I was working on the film, so.
Okay.
So I know it was
Foundation's
suspended
laid.
probably for 2 or 3 weeks.
And why was it suspended for 2 or 3 weeks?
Johnny
With
had to
it.
go back to Los Angeles because his finger had been cut off. Tip of his finger had been cut off.
Ouch.
Do you have any understanding of how Mr. Depp's, or the top of Mr. Depp's finger was cut off?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
See?
And I believe you testified that production was suspended for a period of 2 or 3 weeks. Did there come a time when Mr. Depp
Shut up,
returned from
Elaine.
Los Angeles to Australia for completion of the shooting of Pirates 5?
Yes, he did.
Who is Sean Bailey?
He's an executive at Disney.
After Mr. Depp returned to the set of Pirates 5 in Australia, what, if any, interactions did you observe between Mr. Depp and Mr. Daly?
Sean had come to set one day and sat and talked with Johnny for a while, and they talked about collaborating and doing some stuff in the future.
Was it a friendly conversation?
Absolutely, yes.
Has Mr. Depp ever worn an earpiece in any of the many movies in which you've worked with him?
Yes.
For what purpose are earpieces generally used by actors on sets?
Well, I've worked
Objection,
with.
Your Honor. First of all, relevance, foundation,
What's the relevance?
hearsay.
May we
Calm
approach
down.
you?
Okay, sure.
Calm down, Elaine. Elaine is such a bitch muffin. It's too early to say what I want to say.
In which you've worked with him.
Objection, leading.
Has Mr. Depp,
Oh,
Mr. Wyatt, has Mr. Depp ever worn an earpiece in any of the movies in which you've worked with him?
Objection, leading.
I'll allow it.
And he already answered it anyway. But
That's okay. I'll allow it.
Yes, he has.
objection leading. Yeah. Elaine, you're all flustered. Calm down.
When was the first time you used an earpiece with Mr. Depp?
First time we used it was on a movie he was directing called The Brave. We were doing a scene with Marlon Brando, who wears an earpiece for receiving his dialogue.
objection,
I'll allow it. That's fine. Go ahead.
Marlon uses an earpiece for his dialogue, and it was a long shooting day, and we let
Hey, Alan Walsh. Good to see you. Caitlin. Good to see you also. Yeah, I'm actually co-streaming with Jessica today. So if you don't see her on her channel, she will be joining in shortly. She just has to take care of a few things before she gets in here. and there was no need to hold up. This is good testimony. Today, day 5 is when Johnny Depp actually will be doing his having his little conversations with the jury. So today is going to be a good one. You don't want to miss it. That's for darn sure. But it's very good to see you, Caitlin. Very good to see you, Alan. And of course, wonderful Hal 9000 is she. Oh, she lost already. No, today is the day that we hear from Depp after this one. There will be a long break, which we'll skip through. And yeah, this actually probably be a pretty short one today. So once we get to Johnny Depp, I'll slow down the speed, but just to get the inflections right. Here we go.
Johnny, as the director, let Marlon go after we shot Marlon's section of the film. And then for Johnny's character to act against something other than just a blank nothing, we put Marlon's performance in an earpiece into Johnny so he could act up against Marlon's performance.
Did Mr. Depp ever use an earpiece for some other purpose other than listening to Mr. Brando's dialogue?
After that, we started using an earpiece all the time, where Johnny would listen to music while acting.
Of course, I'm not Jessica Reloaded. I could never take the place of her. Ever. Just so you know, Jessica is running a little bit later today, but she will be joining in as soon as she gets here. So you'll be just fine. Yo, Pyramid 7. Good to see you. And good to see you also, Expert. If you guys haven't checked out the Expert, he's a good guy. Go check him out.
We would play all different kinds of music depending on the character he was playing. He and I would talk about it beforehand, and sometimes it'd be classical, sometimes it'd be rock, sometimes it would be blues. It depended on the character.
Oh, she'll be here later.
To what extent, if any, did you and Mr. Depp use that process in other movies in which you worked together?
We use that on every movie.
Mr. Wyatt, on those occasions, in addition to feeding Mr. Depp music, did you ever read lines to him?
Yes.
Why did you read lines to Mr. Depp?
Johnny typically likes to go into makeup in the morning and write his own dialogue and rewrite his dialogue. So sometimes there's not enough time to always to remember the lines and learn them. So I would remind him in his ear sometimes while music was playing at the same time.
And Mr. Wyatt, in your long experience working with Mr. Depp on films, how would you describe his level of preparedness on the set?
He's absolutely prepared. He knows what he wants the character to be.
Oh my gosh. What happened here? Hey, Jess.
Hello there.
How you doing?
Good. Just got in my car, ready to go home.
Excellent. Well, everybody's been clamoring for you. They're like, where's Jessica? Where's Jessica? What happened to Jessica? Where's Jessica? Expert came in here to bust you up.
Aw.
Yeah.
I had to stop by the clinic to get a vitamin shot because sometimes I have vitamin deficiencies, so sometimes I need that little boost because I feel myself getting weak.
Yeah.
So
That's because you don't eat on a regular basis. You like starve yourself.
I know I eat like once a day.
I know. And Rapid saying, drive safe, Jessica Reloaded. Please drive
Thank
safe.
you.
Yeah, we will have Johnny Depp today. So I was playing this goofball here, which, he's just giving a little bit more insight into Johnny Depp on his performance in Pirates and stuff like that. So it's good background. And there'll be a long break. It looks like there's like a 3-hour break in the middle of this thing or something. It's crazy.
Cheeses. That's a
Yeah.
cheese Jesus, by the way.
Yeah, cheese Jesus.
Cheeses.
I love it.
Did you see what I did? So Expert tagged us in a tweet.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, about his dream or his stream. What the fuck? Why did I say dream? His stream about the drama llama. And
Oh,
he's
really?
like, everyone thinks this is about them. So I quote tweeted it. I'm like, but it is about me, obviously.
Of course it's about you. Jeez.
I'm the drama.
You are the drama. That's okay. I'm the drama too. I got
We all
llama
are.
teeth. I got llama teeth. Yeah, no, there's why do people think that drama's about them?
Or like they think everything is about them.
That's a
Like,
little
you'll be like-
self-centered.
It is. It's like, girl. It's cray cray.
I don't understand why anybody would think that it's about them. I
Right.
mean,
It's
there
like
would be
if
only-
I'm choosing to talk in a generalization, it's because I'm talking about it in general. Now,
Well,
if I meant it specifically about a person, best believe I'm going to be in your DM saying, ha, this is you.
yeah. Yeah, if
I'd rather
That-
confront someone face to face or in the DMs than like, whatever.
I mean,
Weirdos.
if someone's, thinks that it's them, more than likely it's hitting close to
Right.
home. I think I only saw a portion of that. Like it's like towards the end when he was
I mean,
like,
if you think it's about you, then you probably have some skeletons in your closet that you should probably address, because if you have nothing to worry about, why would you think it's about you?
yeah, that makes no sense. Getting worked up
And by
about
honestly,
Mm.
in my honest opinion, when someone gets worked up about a generalization thinking it's about them, it's like, first of all, you're asking me if it's about you. You're pretty much self-snitching.
Yeah.
Everything you say after this, I'm not going to believe you, because I already know you do that.
Yeah,
Because, like, why would you care?
exactly.
But
It's whenever things hit close to home that you'll see people get a little worked up and a little bothered and a little frustrated and get upset. And if people are getting upset over something, over somebody like hitting close to home, then they may want to check themselves.
yep.
I'll have to look into that. I didn't see that. Was that on Twitter?
Yeah.
Did they say something to him on Twitter? Or respond to it?
I don't know. All I know is he tagged us in it.
That's crazy.
I got the notification.
What is it? I did see jury duty being tagged on that one. Have you seen jury duty?
Oh yeah, the one that's really. Yeah, I haven't watched it, but she told me about it. I'm probably gonna start watching it this weekend.
Let's see what he said. This is really lit a fire under people. Who is the expert talking about? Maybe this isn't about you unless you think it is. Feral housewife, all storm. I hate the WAP. I am Miami Spice. I'm not tagged in that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I got a notification, that's why I saw it. And then I quote tweeted it. I'm like, obviously it's about me, duh.
Well, see, the expert
Duh.
doesn't care about me. Don't you know that? Expert doesn't care about me. That's why he said way too many people think I care about them. I love it.
I know. I'm roboting. I'm gonna turn off my camera.
All right. I'm definitely a nobody. I love it. Yep. I'm not. I'm so left out. I wasn't tagged on the expert's tweet. Man. Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my. Is the sound working better on my mic?
I mean, my signal's pretty bad, so it's roboting, so I don't know. But probably.
Gotcha. That's good. That's what we want. I want my sound to sound good. I'm so left out. Oh my. The expert doesn't care about me. Boo-hoo.
He collaborates with the director on what his ideas are, but he always comes very prepared.
And Mr. Wyatt, during your long relationship with Mr. Depp, what, if any, opportunity?
What is that, Rabbit? Oh, it was just about all the BS in general. Probably you need to avoid drama-free channels exist. Exactly. I like drama-free. It is a wonderful place to be. A wonderful
sir.
place to be. We're just taking it one day at a time. Yep. I hope school's coming along for you, Caitlin. You need to keep up with that. Not worry about the YouTube stuff. YouTube stuff can wait. School ain't gonna be there forever. Ask Jessica. She's doing the same thing, paying attention to her school and not so much the YouTubes.
I mean, I'm still like, I'll show up on everyone's streams.
Right.
And I have my camera off because I'm doing my homework. Or you'll see me with my camera on and I'm not even paying attention to the stream. I'm still doing my homework.
As long as you're having fun, because sometimes I've seen you where you'll be doing homework and then all of a sudden you'll just be like, boom, doing, you'll be jumping right in there like, wait a second, what was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like when someone asks me a question, I'm like, wait, what?
Wait, what? Huh? Who, what, when, where, how? Hey, Sean,
Yep.
Good to see you. Joel Beeps.
What's up, Sean?
Have you had to
Yep. Junior says, hello, Sean.
observe his sense of humor?
Quite often.
How would you describe to the jury Mr. Depp's sense of humor?
He likes like a British humor. He's sometimes a little dark, maybe. He likes plays on words, that sort of thing.
Monty Python?
Monty Python. There's a show in England called The Fat Show, which he used to love watching.
Mr. Wyatt, what, if any, relationship do you have with Mr. Depp outside of your working relationship?
We're close. I used to, after a film, sometimes he'd call and I would go on vacation with he and his family.
On what occasions would you go on vacation with Mr. Depp and his family?
He would call after a film and he would be going away with the kids and Vanessa, and he would say, hey, we're going to the island, would you come with me and stuff? Or we're going to France, would you come along? And sure, why not?
Would you please give the jury Vanessa's full name?
Vanessa Paradis.
And would you please tell the jury who she is?
She is the mother of Johnny's two kids, Jack and Lily Rose.
And Mr. Wyatt, on how many occasions, if you can recall, did you accompany Mr. Depp, Ms. Paradis, and Johnny's two children on vacation?
Several times.
On those several occasions where you accompanied them on vacation, did you ever observe Mr. Depp and Vanessa interact with each other?
Sure. Yes.
Would you please tell the jury what you observed?
They were a loving couple and everything was fine. Yeah, it was a family.
Did you ever hear or see Mr. Depp yell or raise his voice at Vanessa Paradis, the mother of his children?
Not that I recall.
Did you ever, on any occasion, see Mr. Depp physically abuse Vanessa?
Never.
And I believe you testified, Mr. Wyatt, that Mr. Depp's and Ms. Paradis' children, Lily Rose and Jack, were there on those vacations. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you have occasion to observe Mr. Depp's interactions with his children?
Sure. Yes.
Would you please describe for the jury very briefly Mr. Depp's interactions with his children, Jack and Lily Rose?
He was a very loving father. He used to do stuff with the kids all the time, going swimming at the island and teaching them scuba diving and, just drawing, a lot of drawing, doing artwork.
Did he ever yell or raise his voice at his children?
Not that I recall. Nothing that stands out, no.
Mr. Wyatt, on what, if any, occasions have you seen Mr. Depp drink alcohol?
Oh, we drink alcohol quite often.
And on those occasions in which you had alcohol with Mr. Depp, how, if at all, did his behavior change?
I don't remember it changing at all. I don't remember him changing.
It didn't make him angry?
No. Sleepy.
Have you ever seen Mr. Depp use drugs?
I've seen him take pills. Don't know what they were. I wouldn't know what they were, but that's all.
Based on your observations, when you have seen him taking pills, how, if at all, did the taking of pills affect his behavior?
I didn't see any change in Johnny. I don't recall anything changing.
Mr. Wyatt, do you know the defendant in this case, Ms. Amber Heard?
Yes.
When did you first meet Ms. Heard?
On the set of Rum Diary.
On how many occasions, if at all, did you see Ms. Heard after that?
Several times.
Would you please describe for the jury very briefly your relationship with Ms. Heard after you saw her the first few times?
I mean, I don't really have a relationship with her. We didn't sit and talk. I didn't hang out with her or anything like that.
Did there come a time when you became aware that Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard were romantically involved?
Yes.
How often did you see Mr. Depp after he started the romantic relationship with Ms. Heard?
Oh, I don't recall. I didn't see him that often, but I don't recall how often, but I didn't see him that much.
How often were you together? Strike that. How often did you interact with Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard when the two of them were together?
Just only occasionally did I see him. I mean, I would leave him alone, let him have his time with Amber. I wasn't into interfering.
And on those occasions where you interacted with Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard as a couple, did you ever hear Mr. Depp yell at or raise his voice to Ms. Heard?
No.
On what occasions, if any, did he ever raise his hand to or otherwise abuse Ms. Heard?
I've never seen him be violent towards anybody.
And if we could, did there come switch gears here, did there come a time
Hey, Luna.
in May 2014 when you traveled with Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard by private plane
Jamie?
from Boston to Los Angeles?
Yes.
Who else was on that Boston plane flight?
It
Boy,
was Amber and
that's just
Johnny,
rolling in.
Steven,
Thanks for coming by.
Savannah, and Jerry Judge and myself.
And would you please tell the jury who is Stephen?
Steven Duders is Johnny's assistant.
Who is Savannah?
Savannah was Amber's assistant.
And I think the jury has heard the name Jerry Judge, but if you could please explain to the jury again who Jerry Judge is.
Jerry Judge is Johnny's security.
Mr. Wyatt, why were you on that flight that night?
I don't know the exact circumstances of that flight. I didn't travel with the two of them that often. I was probably headed back to Los Angeles to see my daughter.
And before you got on the flight, how did you arrive at the airport that night?
We came in a car.
When you say you came in the car, with whom did you come in the car?
It was Jerry, Steven, Nathan, Johnny, and myself.
And who is Nathan?
Nathan is Johnny's other assistant, Nathan Holmes.
What, if any, alcohol or drugs did you see Mr. Depp take while on the car ride to the airport?
On the car ride, I don't recall anything being taken. Johnny, I know, had called Jack during the car ride to talk to him, to tell him we were on our way. And we were listening to the World Cup that was going on at the time.
And if you could just remind the jury who Jack is?
Jack is Johnny's little boy.
When you and Mr. Depp and the security personnel arrived at the plane, who, if anyone, was there at the plane?
The plane had come from New York with Amber and Savannah already on it.
What, if anything, did you observe about Ms. Heard's behavior on that Boston flight?
Well, she was giving Johnny the cold shoulder, being quiet, and seemed pouty.
What, if any, conversation did you have with
Nice.
Ms. Heard on the flight?
At one point, I went up to her and said something to the effect of, he cares about you. And all of a sudden, she snapped and started yelling at me, "How dare you talk to me? Get away from me!" So I went back to a seat and minded my own business.
When she said those things to you, would you describe the tone of her voice if you remember it?
She was abruptly loud. It was a quiet plane. All of a sudden, it got very loud.
And I believe you testified you went back to your seat or you moved. What happened next?
Johnny had said something to her like, "Don't talk to my friend that way." And I just stayed in my seat and finished the rest of the flight.
And after you went back to your seat, to what extent, if any, were you able to see Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard?
I was able to see them very clearly.
What, if any, violence or physical altercation did you observe between Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard once you'd gone back to your seat?
I've never seen Johnny be violent towards anybody.
To what extent, if any, did you observe Mr. Depp or Ms. Heard hit, kick, or throw anything at each other on the plane?
No, I don't recall that at all.
Mr. Wyatt, was Mr. Depp consuming any alcohol on that flight?
Sure, yes.
Did he seem intoxicated?
Seem intoxicated? No, he seemed like Johnny. No, he seemed normal.
Did there come a time, Mr. Wyatt, when you learned that Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard were getting married to each other?
Yes.
How did you find out about that there would be a wedding?
I was at the Infinitum office, and Christy came to me and said, hey,
I'm just asking, it's not for the proof, I'm just asking him how he found out about the wedding.
All right, what's the relevance?
May we approach, Your Honor?
Okay.
Mr. Wyatt, did you end up attending the wedding?
yes, I did.
Where was that? Where did the wedding take place?
Well, there's two weddings, one at Betty Sue's house, Johnny's mom's house, and then another one on the island. The one on the island I did not attend.
What, if anything, did you observe at the Los Angeles ceremony that you attended at Betty Sue,
Betty
Mr.
Sue's
Depp's
house?
mother's house?
It was all very quick. I mean, we all found out about it at the last moment. There was a bit of confusion. Johnny had a friend from out of town, and she wasn't sure what was going on.
Wilhelma Media. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Oh, I was talking. You're not crazy. Well, you might be crazy.
Hello,
I was
Hammer.
talking.
Were you talking with your mic muted?
Yeah, of course. I do that.
I didn't
So,
even notice because I'm.
Have you ever
I'm-
been on a private plane?
a private plane? No.
Okay.
Do I look rich?
Huh?
I said, do I look rich or like I have rich friends? We're all broke.
True. A buddy of mine had a private plane that I flew on with him. And if you've never been on one, it's hard for people to understand because they see the TV and they think these planes are really big. These planes are very, 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 very tiny. And I mean, at 6 foot, it's hard for me to stand up all the way. I mean, I can, but I'm like scraping the ceiling kind of thing.
The only difference is they have like a different layout than the normal planes, right?
No, not really. They'll
No?
have seats facing forward, and there will be seats towards the back that are facing
Okay.
towards each other. And then there will be like and some of those will fold out into beds and stuff. But they're very narrow. I mean, we're talking maybe 2 seats per side if you're lucky. And then I mean, like, you're right on top of one another. I guess you can have them fitted out to, fit a little bit, not so tight, but they're pretty cramped. They're not like
I
just a
mean,
crop duster count.
I probably wouldn't have any issues with them because I'm.
Yeah, I
Fine.
mean, they're very convenient, very easy to be relaxed in. Oh, there's a lot more leg room
Yeah.
because you're not trying to cram in as many people as you can. But whenever he's just like, could you see them? It's just like, yeah. I mean, you can rotate the seats around and face different directions. It depends on how the planes are set up. but they're pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot of room, but there's room to move around, if that makes any sense. But it's not like this gigantic space. I mean, you can usually even see the pilot from where you're sitting. All you have to do is just turn your head. You can see in the cockpit. Pilots in those cockpits aren't really worried about locking themselves in there. So you can
Do they
usually
have
see it.
better food than commercial planes?
They can, because food and stuff like that is you're going to be paying for that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's advantages and disadvantages to it. The disadvantages is they tend to be a little bit smaller. The advantages are that you don't have all of the like TSA stuff that you're having to deal with, on normal flights, which is really, really cool. And that was the first thing that impressed me, is just like, they grab your bags and they're just like, all right, hop on the plane. Wait, really? Yeah, the plane's ready. Oh, okay. So you hop on the plane and kick back, and they've usually got like a fruit basket or something like that. And, there'll be, just depends on what they stock. I mean, probably some different kinds of alcohol, but it's pretty chill, and the pilot lets you know what's
That's
going on
cool.
like they would any other flight. Well, make sure your seats are in a forward position and locked in place. Make sure you got your the thing on. Once we get up in the air and get up to, operating or altitude, then, you're free to move around, no smoking, that kind of stuff. They don't want their planes smelling like cigarettes or cigars or any crap like that. So it's sort of the same, some of the same rules, but yeah, you don't have all the hassles that you have on planes. I mean, that's that same guy that he used his dad's, what is it, like, because he would pay for a lease through like JetBlue, and so it was a bunch of people that would go in on it, and then you just had a certain amount of time, per month or year or whatever. And we just used some of that to fly out to Vegas. It was pretty cool. But yeah, they're very cramped. That's why I'm like, whenever he's talking about the plane and they're asking questions, well, could you see her? It's not like you're on this 747. You're just in this small little plane, that's like, yeah, you see everybody. I guess it makes it a little bit odd whenever I hear her talking about, oh, he was so violent and he slammed me into things. It's like, yeah, everybody would see that if he did. Like, it's crazy. Wow. Crop duster has 2 seats and no room. Well, that's true. I like crop dusters. They look pretty cool. That'd be pretty darn neat. We'll get back to it. I'm sorry.
Little Jack didn't understand what was going on.
I'll sustain other people. Go ahead.
What, if anything, did you observe about Ms. Heard's demeanor at the ceremony?
She was very happy, go lucky. She was all dressed up. All of her friends were nicely dressed up and ready for a wedding.
Have you ever, in the course of your interactions with Ms. Heard, ever seen any marks, injuries, or bruises on her?
I have not, no.
During the decades that you have known Mr. Depp, to what extent, if any, are you aware of any woman other than Ms. Heard accusing him of abuse?
I'll allow it.
I've never seen Johnny abuse anybody, ever.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wyatt. That's all I have right now.
We're going to take our break. All right.
Oh.
Let's go ahead and take our morning break for 15 minutes. Do not say anything. Do not talk to me about the case, and don't look up anything. If a juror needs to address something to me, please write it down and give it to the deputy. Okay? All right. Thank you. You're excused. 15 minutes.
Yeah, they're just having a little sidebar for a second.
All right. We're ready for the jury.
Basically establishing that Johnny doesn't beat people up. That's good watching right there. Like that. Like the donut operator. And good to see you, Sage Warrior. Glad you could make it in. And Young, good to see you also. I think I got everybody. And Hal, one of your girlfriends is a pilot. Awesome. Very cool. Bring in the jury. Bring in the jury.
All right, cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Mr. White, you testified that you've been a sound technician for pretty much
Right
most of your
off.
career, right?
Yes.
Okay. And let's go to that Marlon Brando. That he used an earpiece for his lines to be fed to him, correct, at that
Yes.
time? And when was that? When was the Brave film?
Mid-90s.
Okay. And so ever since then, Mr. Depp has thought it was a good idea and has used an earpiece, correct?
He has used an earpiece, yes.
Okay. And you're the person who controls what goes into his earpiece, is that
Yes.
correct? Okay. So it could be music, it can be lines, it can be
Yes.
anything, right?
Yes,
Okay. And you have been his sound technician since the 1990s, all the way up through at least 2016, correct?
there's been a couple of us, yes.
Okay. But you actually have been on almost all his movies, haven't
Been
you?
on most of them, probably.
Okay.
yes.
And in fact, not only are you his personal sound technician, but you are named in his contracts as his sound technician, correct?
I don't know that.
Okay. Well,
Could
let's
be.
pull up exhibit number.
That's pretty good.
Let's go to 633.
That's why you keep people close to you
I'm
that you
going to show
trust.
you what has been marked as defendant's exhibit
Man,
633, and it's the contract for Pirates of the
tell me, how awesome would that be to have your own personal sound technician? Come on. That's pretty awesome.
Caribbean from August 2022. Do you see that?
Objection, lack of
August.
foundation.
I'm sorry?
Lack of foundation.
I didn't get his answer.
Jamie, you don't know who the donut operator is? Oh my gosh, Jamie. Jamie, you're gonna get like you'll be leaving the baker. We'll have to replace you because you'll go following around the donut operator. Why'd you do this, expert? Why are you pulling her away from the broken baker? So shame on you.
I'll go ahead.
I see it. It says August 2002.
Let's turn to page 16.
Why would people think you're their own personal sound technician? That sounds horrible. I mean, are they paying you to be their personal sound technician? Well, I know how that's what you do for a living, but you get paid for it. Yeah, that's not cool.
Actually, the one before that. It's two before that, I think. There we go. Do you see where it says location assistant?
Yes,
Okay. And if you go down, it has your name specifically on there. Does it not say Keenan Wyatt?
yes,
Okay. And on this
Along-
particular one, it has Sam Sarker and Keenan Wyatt. Do you see that?
yes.
But eventually it just became Keenan Wyatt in all the contracts, right?
I do not know. I don't know.
Okay. And then as part of this, in each of Mr. Depp's contracts, he had what you were going to get paid, correct?
I don't know what's in his contract.
Okay. Well, on this one, it was $14.28 per hour, correct?
Lack of foundation, Your Honor.
All right. Well, he doesn't know this contract. If you want to frame it, it's a different question.
Well, you, on every
Damn.
one of his
Lame
contracts, had an
stuttering.
hourly rate and a guarantee of at least 60 hours a week, right?
Calls for speculation, lack of foundation.
Yep.
Surely he has to know how he was getting paid on
If
these.
you want to ask that question.
Do you know how you were getting paid on each of these films?
Yes,
Okay.
I get paid through a payroll company from the production companies.
Okay. And
Ooh.
these were all negotiated by Mr. Depp, correct?
No,
Or his
I'm
company.
paid by the union sets the rate for me.
Right. But you're aware that Mr. Depp has negotiated it and put you into his contract.
Lack of
correct?
foundation calls for speculation.
I'll allow that answer if you can answer.
Sorry.
You want to ask
You're
the
aware.
question again? Okay.
You're aware that Mr. Depp has put you into each of his contracts, including how much you get paid and all of your perks, right?
I see it here, but When I'm hired by a production company, I get paid by the production company at my union rate for the job that I'm doing. That's not the rate I make when I'm working on a production.
Okay. All right. Well, let's stay on this one just for a minute, and then we'll take a look at a couple more because you ended up with a lot higher rate pretty soon. But you also had your airfare paid for, correct? For travel.
Yes,
You also were put up in the same hotel as Mr. Depp if he was in a hotel, correct?
not necessarily all the time.
Right. And if he was in a house, then you got a comparable hotel close by, right?
I got a place to stay wherever we were filming, yes.
And it was comparable.
Comparable to
It
Johnny's?
was,
No.
it was a positive, it was a nice hotel, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, productions, we usually stayed at nice
You're
hotels.
late.
Okay. So is it your testimony that you didn't know that you were named?
What's up, Junior?
The questions she asks are so
Horrible.
retarded.
It's because it's Elaine,
Uh,
and they're gonna she.
she makes me want to punch myself in the head.
Yes, very much so.
Like, I did a better job representing Zeus this morning than she did this whole trial.
Yeah,
I'll tell you about
I-
that later, though.
if it's what you told me earlier, I'm laughing my ass off on that. That is
Oh
so.
no, there was a whole speech that I did. It was freaking great.
Oh,
Like, my dad was cracking up. He's like, "Dude, shut up." Like-
oh.
It's really hard to get my dad to laugh, but that got him laughing.
Nice. You've been hanging around lawyers too much. That's what your problem is.
Probably.
Like real lawyers. Oh wow. You've grown. I think she means she's grown fond of Elaine, but she says I've grown found to Elaine. Yeah, I could see that. So the plural of mantis is mantises or mantis.
Like, okay,
Mantis.
who cares if the hotel he stayed at was nice? The
Yeah.
fuck? Like, who
Yeah, I
wants
mean-
to stay at a rundown motel with cockroaches, Elaine? Come
Well,
on.
here, let me give you a really good example that she probably doesn't understand because a lot of people don't. I worked Lollapalooza in Chicago. Shit, I think it was the second one that they did in Chicago, or maybe it was the first one, and it was Perry Farrell set it up, and he made sure that because they can do just regular catering and have food brought in to feed like the road crew and the musicians and the stage hands and all that kind of stuff. They can just have any kind of catering come in. No, he went out and he got Wolfgang Puck's company to cater that whole thing. So you've got like really good food coming in there, really healthy food, vegetarian, stuff if you're a vegetarian, vegan stuff if you're a vegan. I mean, he went all out on it. And, whenever he showed up, like everybody would thank him just because, that's just the kind of person that he is. He's looking out for the musicians and the crew and everybody that he possibly can, to make it a great experience. And, that's no different than what Johnny's doing with this guy. You don't want to put him in, just the worst hotel. You're going to say, hey, let's put you in a good hotel. This is the one I'm going to be staying at. So if we need to go over anything, we can go over it. And I don't have to go find you somewhere. I mean, this is a personal sound technician. This is the guy that he trusts to make sure that he sounds good, no matter what he does. It's
Right.
like, someone might have their own personal makeup artist.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
like, when I get hired, because sometimes I travel to do hair for like weddings and stuff. When people hire me, they pay for my travel, like they'll pay for my flight. They book a hotel room for me at the same hotel that the bride is staying at, so that way I don't have to, get a ride. So
Right.
That's usually how it is. The person who hired you usually pays for these things.
Yeah, and they're not going like outrageous on it unless, you know, they're already being outrageous.
Yeah.
You know, it's just part of doing business. But Elaine, I don't think understands that.
No.
Good to see you, Nikki.
Wasn't this her first trial in a courtroom
I,
or something like that? I thought
that
I
might
heard
be
something
it.
like that.
Yeah,
That's
because I think she's
it
used to
sounds like it.
settling. I think she's used
Yeah.
to just settling stuff and you know, using the strong arm, just the thought of going through a suit, and you know, they're just, you know, people tend to buckle because, you know, she strong arms them, and it doesn't do very lawyerly things, I should say.
She's aggressive, but like she's stupid aggressive. She's not even like smart aggressive, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. She's aggressive to yeah, I've seen it before. She tries to strong arm people that you could have just, you know, asked them nicely and they probably would have done what you wanted them to do. But she gets more and more frustrated throughout this trial, which is just unbelievable. Oh, well, we get to, this is, and I think this is the first we've seen of Elaine. Like, this is the first time that we've seen her in any of the stuff. If I'm not mistaken, is that right? Like, she didn't question anybody else up until this point.
I think she didn't question anybody, but she did do a opening statement,
That's
which
right.
took forever. She burned their time with her opening, but meh. Oh well.
Ah, look at this. Yeah. And Sage Warrior says worked the Ryman in the mid 90s. We fed the talent local brisket. Good stuff. Personally ran to the local shop, buy more barbecue sauce many times. I was 20-year-old peon. Yeah. Yeah. It's they try to take care of people whenever they're touring. Musicians, actors, actresses. You go, you know, most shows that you would work, they would have some sort of catering set up to make sure that the stage hands were fed. I mean, and it could have been playing something like you know, a theater somewhere. You know, it doesn't matter. They always try to really take care of the talent and the people that are working backstage, because, you know, it's not like you have time, if you're a stagehand, even just to go run and grab a bite to eat. You know, you don't really bring your lunch to work with you. It's just sort of one of the perks, you know. You understand.
Specifically, in the terms of your compensation and your benefits were in every single one of Mr. Depp's contracts?
Objection has been answered several times, Your Honor.
It has not, and
I'll allow this.
I did not know it was in
Okay.
the contract.
Next question.
okay. Let's go take a look real quick. I'm gonna flip over to 855. And this is a contract December 4, 2008 with Paramount Pictures for Rango. Do you recall that?
Yes,
And you were his sound technician there, correct?
yes.
And if we turn to
Yeah.
page 12, which is the second one,
You're not
if
making
you
a
look
good
down there,
point,
your name is
Elaine.
right there. You're designated as sound technician, correct?
Yep. That's what it
Do you
looks
see
like.
that?
Yes,
All right, and then let's flip to the next page. And that has 3,500 per week, correct?
Lack of foundation.
Do you remember
Yeah.
getting $3,500 a week?
I get whatever the weekly rate is for the union position that I'm doing. I don't know, at this time, I don't recall what the rate was. I don't know if that's what I got or not, but I got what the union set as my minimum rate.
Okay, and again, you didn't know that Mr. Depp negotiated this into his contract? Okay, and then if we go down a little bit further here, it has you round trip.
Why would
class
he know?
Coach class transportation. You see that?
Yes,
Why would he know anything about what Johnny Depp negotiated into his contract? It's not his contract. His contract is union contract. He gets paid whatever the union's paying him, and there might be some sort of bonus or some crap like that, but he doesn't know anything about Johnny's contract. When are these people going to learn? Morons.
And then it has hotel accommodations and per diem on the same basis as the crew of the picture on this one, correct?
Yes, but we were in, Rango was in Los Angeles, so none of that would have taken
Right, so,
place.
so
Yeah.
it was a lot easier. Then let's jump to plaintiff's exhibit 842. And this is Pirates of the Caribbean, July 2014. This would be for 5, right?
Your Honor, lack of foundation, these are contracts to which Mr. Wyatt was not a party.
Exactly.
Your Honor, it's not offered to prove the truth of the contract. It's,
And what is it offered for?
what's, all right, well, let me ask it this way. For Pirates 5, you were in, what was your hotel accommodations?
I was staying in a condominium that the rest of the crew was staying in.
Okay, and how much were you getting paid on Pirates 5?
Whatever the union minimum was for my job.
Do you have any idea what it was?
No, I don't recall.
Okay.
I'd have to look it up.
And were you aware that your compensation and benefits were in Mr. Depp's Pirates contract?
No, I did not.
All right. Now, let's go to Pirates 5 in particular. I think you testified that Mr. Depp was he occasionally late a lot to the set?
I don't recall. I mean, he was late, yes.
There were days he didn't show up at all, weren't there?
Could have been, I don't recall.
And there were days that he didn't show up for 6-7 hours, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And in fact, he wasn't showing up before Amber ever got to Australia. Isn't that correct?
I don't know that.
Do you recall him going on a binge with Marilyn Manson for a few days?
Objection,
No,
lack of foundation.
Do you don't
I'll allow
recall
it.
that? I'm sorry. Do you recall?
No, I don't recall.
You don't recall one way or the other, or you just?
No, I didn't visit Johnny when we were in Australia. I don't know.
Okay, so you
He
don't
had a
know.
house, I had a condominium in town.
So you don't know what was causing Johnny to be late, or whether he was taking a lot of alcohol and drugs.
Oh yeah, she did question our the first witness. I forgot about that. Was it the first witness? His artist friend. Baruch. She did question Baruch. So sorry, that's my yeah, she's completely being a smart ass. We've gotten that. She's trying to get things in there that she doesn't need to be getting in. Thinking that she's watched too much like Law and Order.
Is
No.
that fair to say?
Yes,
Okay. And you said that you observed Johnny Depp talking with Sean Bailey after he came back. And let's go to that. You said there was a 2 to 3 week delay. In fact, it was closer to 5 to 6 weeks, wasn't it?
I don't recall what it was.
It's pretty
I flew-
significant when the entire crew has to stop for that period of time.
crew-
Objection to Ms. Redhoff's testimony.
All right, I'll sustain the objection, ask the question.
It's pretty significant, isn't it, when there's a delay?
It's significant. I don't think the film completely shut down for all of that. They continued to shoot what they could.
How many of the crew members were impacted by Johnny not being able to be there after he cut off, after the finger was cut off?
Well, there was the crew, some of the crew, I'm sure, still kept working and filming other scenes without Johnny's character in it.
Do you know how many were impacted?
No, I don't.
Do you know how much Disney was impacted?
I don't.
Okay, so now you say when he came back, he collaborated with Sean Bailey, right?
Yes.
And they were talking about how they were going to get together on something, right?
Yes.
Did Johnny do anything with Sean Bailey for the rest of 2015?
I don't know about that year, but I know that they talked about collaborating and doing something. Sean and Johnny had worked out, Johnny working at.
Mr. White, if you can just answer my
Your Honor,
question.
may the witness
No,
please?
no.
She asked the question.
I
He
asked,
should
did
be,
he collaborate in 2015?
Your Honor, may he be allowed to
Yes,
please
let him
finish his
finish the
answer?
question, the answer. Sorry, go ahead.
Johnny and Sean put together Johnny dressing up as Captain Jack and addressing the crowd at the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to strike and ask that to be stricken. That is not responsive to my question.
Your Honor, she asked him the question. Should she?
That's not the question she asked him. You want to ask your question again? please?
Yes. Did Mr. Bailey collaborate on any projects with Mr. Depp in 2015 after Pirates 5?
The one I just said, the project that was a promotional project for
Was it a
Pirates of
film?
the Caribbean. Was it filmed?
Yeah.
I think it was videotaped or filmed, yes.
Was it a feature film that
No,
Disney
it wasn't
made
a
money
feature
on?
film.
No. All right. Let's go to 2016. Did Sean Bailey collaborate on
I
any
don't
film
know.
project with Mr. Depp?
I don't know.
Let's go to 2017.
I don't
Did
know.
Mr. Bailey collaborate with Mr. Depp on any film project?
I don't know the timing of the other things. No, I don't know if he did or not.
Let's go to 2018. Did Mr. Bailey collaborate at all with Mr. Depp in 2018?
I don't know.
Were you aware that Mr. Bailey said that Mr. Depp was
Elaine,
quote,
you
out
sound desperate.
quote for Pirate 6 in
Objection.
October of 2018?
Hearsay.
All right, I'll sustain as the hearsay.
Okay, let's pull up plaintiff's exhibit 115.
No, there was an objection.
Is it
It's
plaintiff's
hearsay.
115?
Plaintiff's 115.
Jesus Christ, Elaine. She's like a little jackhammer, just will not shut up. Doesn't
Oh,
pay
defendants, I'm
attention
sorry.
to direction.
Defendants.
Good Lord.
Now, this is an article in October of 2018. Do you recall seeing this article?
No,
You never saw it?
I don't read these
All right,
stories
so-
and stuff like that.
So would it be fair to say that you don't know whether Mr. Bailey had determined that Mr. Depp would not be in Pirates 6 as of October of 2018?
I don't know, especially based on this. I don't believe this stuff anyway.
Okay, we can take that down. Thank you. All right, let's talk about your visits with Vanessa and the kids and Mr. Depp. You indicated you went on some vacations with them, correct?
Yes.
They were together for 14 years, right?
Yes.
How many vacations did you go on? with them?
Several. I don't know all of them.
2, 3,
Probably more than that.
4?
Probably more than that. I don't know. Half a dozen.
Okay, we get to 6? Okay,
Yeah.
6 to 12? All
Yeah.
right. And these are all vacations, right?
After filming, yes.
Okay, so these are times where everybody's having fun, relaxing. It's not your regular,
Yes.
day-to-day grind that everybody goes through, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you have no personal knowledge of whether Mr. Depp ever physically abused Vanessa Paradis, correct?
None that I ever saw.
Right. But you have no knowledge one way. You don't know, do you?
None that I saw.
Right.
Correct.
Right. You don't know what went on in their marriage and their relationship when you weren't there,
None
correct?
that I
was there.
saw.
Okay, and they split up, right?
Jesus.
Do you know why they split up?
No, I do not.
These-
All right. You don't know if Mr. Depp yelled or raised his voice at Vanessa Paradis on a daily basis when you weren't around, do you?
Not when I wasn't around. I don't
All
know.
right. And then you were asked at the very end by Mr. Chu whether you had ever heard.
Oh my gosh. I like Caitlin comments. Good to
Hi,
see you.
Kizzy.
Hey girl. I figured if you wanted to hang out for a little bit, this is a cool place to hang out. And Jess is jumping in and out because she's probably getting home right now and getting herself all like dressed up to come on, which means she's probably getting in her PJs and is getting her
Comfy
notebooks out so she can
clothes.
study. Exactly.
That's what I'm supposed to be doing, but I thought that this sounded like a lot more fun.
It is.
So I can put that self-help book off a day. Yes, one of my assignments is to read a self-help book. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you should read a really good one. Like
I had to choose on a list of 100. I had to
Was-
choose out of those. So I picked the one with the cursey word in the title.
you should pick the Bible.
It wasn't on the list. And I'm not reading that many pages in 4 weeks.
Hey waifu, good to see you, girl.
Hello.
You're welcome to come on too, waifu. You know how to get in here. We're on Jess's stuff, so you know how to get in here if you're wanting to hang out. Although I think she's doing Taz tonight, if she has already. So that, but you're still welcome to come hang out. I've got no objection. You know how to get in here. Meow. I forgot how bad Elaine was. Oh my God.
Oh, have you?
Yes. Like, just the jackhammer questions. I mean, the guy can't even finish an answer before she's asking the next one. And just constant. It's just like, and he's just like, okay. And I could just imagine her giving a deposition where they're just like, objection, Your Honor. Calls for hearsay. Objection, Your Honor. Relevance. And she just keeps talking. She won't shut up whenever there's an objection.
Well, from my understanding is in a deposition, it's probably more in character to just kind of talk. Like the objection happens and then you just keep going, right? Because the judge doesn't rule on it until much later.
Right.
So it doesn't surprise me that she kind of just steamrolls everybody. She definitely feels to be more of a non-litigator, it surprised me to see her in this role after finding out some of her background, as really most of what she does is not going to court. So it didn't surprise me that she was so terrible. There were egregious moments though. for
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's why she's getting called to the sidebar constantly. We don't have to suffer through too much of this. It goes, this interrogation goes pretty quick. And then we'll get to Johnny.
Of any woman accusing Mr. Depp of violence, and you said you'd never heard of anyone accusing Mr. Depp of violence. Do you recall that? Have you ever heard of Greg Brooks?
I don't know.
He's a manager on a set from City of Lies who has
Okay.
filed a lawsuit against Mr. Depp for punching
Your
him.
Honor, lack of foundation
Lack of
and
foundation.
That's fair
object
game, Your
to
Honor.
Ms. Reda
Action, and she won't shut up.
All right, I'll allow it. He's good.
I don't know what
no
happened.
foundation.
I've
Have you
never
ever heard of that?
never seen him be violent to anybody.
But you testified you never heard of that. So had you ever heard of Greg Brooks accusing Mr. Depp of punching him on the set of City of Lies?
Yeah, I mean, I've
That'd
heard it.
be
I don't
hearsay.
know any basis of it though.
So it's not true that you've never heard of anyone accusing Mr. Depp of violence, is it?
I suppose not.
Okay. And you don't know whether Mr. Depp committed any domestic abuse or violence on any of the women in his relationships, do you?
I never witnessed it.
Right. You don't have personal knowledge, though, do you?
Only what I've witnessed, and I've never witnessed it.
Right. You don't know what went on behind closed doors.
I do
any-
not.
How many times do I have to answer the question? I don't know. I never witnessed it. No matter, you can ask it 4 times. He's going to say the same damn thing. I didn't
Right.
witness it.
Okay. Now let's go to the Boston plane. This was
Aston.
Oh, waifu. Taz just ended. I hope it was a good one. It looked really interesting, but of course I was streaming, so I couldn't really do it. Meow. Hell, 9,000 did they name the deposition after Johnny? Deposition. Get it?
Oh,
Ah, we'll play on words.
took me a minute.
Oh God, that would be punishment for shoplifting. To have her interrogate you. She would be good at that. A police interrogator. She I think she found her place.
My fear is that the amount of violent reactions would be overwhelming. Like the people responding to her are not going to respond well. And probably 8 out of 10 times it's going to end poorly for her.
Right to the melon. Oof.
in May of 2014. So you were in the car with Mr. Depp before he got on the plane.
Yes.
How long was he in that car?
How long were we in the car?
Yes.
I don't recall. 45 minutes, an hour, maybe? I don't recall.
You sat on the tarmac for quite some time before getting on the plane, didn't you?
I don't recall.
You don't recall that?
No.
Okay. And is it your testimony that Mr. Depp wasn't drinking anything while he was in the car?
Not in the car, no.
Had Mr. Depp been drinking anything before he got into the
I
car?
don't know. I wasn't with him before.
Is it your testimony that Mr. Depp didn't take any drugs while he was in the car?
Not that I recall.
Do you know whether he took any drugs before he got in the car?
I wasn't with him before we got in the car.
All right. And I think you testified in response to the question that you didn't think that he was intoxicated or high.
God, woman.
No, I mean, he seemed like Johnny.
Did he take any Red Bulls that you saw?
Took any what?
Red Bulls.
Red Bulls? I don't know. There was occasion where he would drink Red Bulls. I don't know if that was the same time or not.
All right. Was he drinking vodka with any Red Bulls?
I don't know.
Was he drinking whiskey?
I don't know.
Was he taking cocaine?
I've never seen it. No.
Did you see any powders?
No.
So you get on the
Did you see any
airplane and it's your
Amica
testimony
cream?
Let me
That
beat this dead
Ms.
horse.
Heard had a bad tone of voice with Mr. Depp. Is that correct?
She had a bad tone of voice with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
In fact,
She wasn't
wasn't
talking
Mr.
about him.
Depp saying pretty horrible things to Ms. Heard?
I don't recall that.
Like, get fucked on set, get fucked with fucking James fucking Franco? Did you hear that?
I don't recall.
Did you hear him say, at least you fucking liked it?
No.
Did you hear him say, I bet you slipped a tongue in there and you liked it?
No.
Did you hear him say, make references to Amber's pussy? And
What's the problem with any of these statements? I see no issue with it.
Except Elaine saying it just makes me like, it sounds so cringeworthy. Like,
I don't know. I think she pulled those fuckins pretty good.
I did. It just sounded really, really cringe. Really cringe. Oh, Jessica's booting up her PC. Hooray.
Yay.
Asking her if her pussy was wet?
Your Honor, lack of foundation,
No,
harassment.
We'll get,
I have to pause it right there.
Harassment.
That's the first thing that comes up. Asking if her cat is wet. Great. Thanks, Elaine. If Johnny said that to you, you get on your knees for him. You wench. Jessica.
I mean, part of me feels like Johnny saying, yeah, go get fucked on set is just like something that he says. That doesn't even sound negative coming from Johnny. You know what I
No.
mean? I mean, maybe the whole part like get fucked by fucking James fucking Franco is a little much. But just saying go get fucked on that doesn't sound
But we did see the tape where
nefarious.
she was hooking up with James Franco.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hey,
there might be a good
smooth,
reason why he
smooth.
says something like that. Whenever he's out of town, she's hooking up with James Franco. Might piss him off a little bit. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Jess does not look different. Eris, that is not Jess. You can see the name. It says Caitlin Comments. Shame on you. Two different people. Jess is booting up her PC.
did you hear any of that?
No, not that I
Okay.
I'll rule the objection. It's fine.
Thank
Next
you.
question.
Now, you shared an oxygen tank with Mr. Depp on that Boston plane, didn't you?
Wow. That would be hilarious. Sharing an oxygen tank with somebody. No, we just breathe the same air.
I
We're
just
on a
I love the
plane.
look on his face when he's sitting here listening to these questions. He's just like, you dumb lady. Just sit down.
Well,
I'm
because
not going to give you anything you want.
Eris says, I know I was teasing. It is good to see you, Eris. I'm just giving Caitlin and you a hard time. No, I agree that it just makes her look dumb, because I think what happened is because she's recalling things that Amber Heard is saying about Johnny Depp. Okay. These are things that she has told Elaine happened. Like they did this and they did this and they did this and they did this and they did this. These are all things coming out of Amber Heard's mouth
Yeah.
to Elaine, and Elaine is basically being the mouthpiece for her. That's why it sounds so disjointed and makes no sense whatsoever.
Okay, quick question, because I don't know if I understand this. Before the trial, I know that they took depositions of people because we see those in the trial. The people that don't want to be coming into court to support Amber or to support Johnny, you see the depositions instead. Or if it's just like a quick one, like Ellen Barkin's wasn't too bad.
Right.
But do they do depositions of the people who they are calling before, even if they don't know that they'll be there? Like, for example, did they have a deposition of this guy before they got to trial setting?
Yes.
So she knew the answer to all these questions already. So that's
But she may have not asked. She may have not asked these questions in deposition. That's the thing.
I think her strong suit is deposition, though.
Right. But I don't think she asked these questions in deposition.
So you
I think
like
she-
Amber waited to say all these extra little stupid details because it had to be added onto the story after the depositions, after they didn't make sense. She was like, oh, I got to make something else make sense.
Yes, because we saw her do it in real time.
Yeah.
That was the bottle. She comes back on the stand. That was the bottle that he did all these horrible things to me with. And they're just like, what is she talking about? It's like, I didn't know until I saw this picture. Oh, that is the bottle right there. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Elaine is probably better in depots. She's highly regarded, aka retarded. Yes. No, she these are things that Amber's told her. That's all. That's why the questions sound so disjointed.
So, do you think some of these are from when you can see her frantically writing notes on her legal pad, and then she's probably just passing them to Elaine, and Elaine's throwing them in there all willy-nilly without even thinking?
Yep.
Okay.
That's
Understood.
a lot of what's going on. I'm almost positive. Ask him about this, and he did this, and hey, he did this, and he did this. Oh, and he was there whenever this happened, and he was here whenever this went down, and then whenever Johnny slapped me, sideways on the airplane, he was there for this, and all these things that she's like trying to create this story, and it makes it sound like the way because Elaine's presenting it this way, it's for her to say, hey, Johnny's this horrible person and everybody's covering for him. That's why she built up the way that she did. But before I go any further, I have to pull this up right here. T-Rex trucking. They are not one and the same. Don't make me come find you. I know you're in an 18-wheeler, but how many 18-wheelers can there be on the road? Damn it. Don't make me come after you. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it, brother. Good to see you. Very good to see you. And we've got Junior coming rolling in here. Really? Yes, you can super chat yourself. That's awesome.
No, all you did was pay YouTube 30%.
Pretty much. I just screwed myself over. It's okay. It's just $1.99.
All right, give me just like 15 seconds. You guys chat amongst yourself. It's going to disappear for a second, but I'm going to have to restart my damn browser. So
Uh-oh.
give me just a second. I'll be right back.
So Caitlin, how you been?
Hey. Yeah, life is fun. I hate my job and school is winding down to a close, but it seems to be the most homework I've ever had in my life.
I mean, at least you have a job. This was my last week before we closed down for remodeling. So, I mean, I'm going to be working at a different location, but it's only going to be like 2 days a week. So I'm like, I need to find another job because money.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
T-Rex membership chat. There are 1.5 million trucks out there, Shizzy.
I will find every single one of them and find which one you're in. Now you can see they're not the same person.
Every time I see a truck the same color as T-Rex's truck, I'm like, is that him? He didn't tell me he was going to be here.
Yeah. Why is he here?
Why are you in my hood?
Wipe my hood, son.
You don't recall Mr. Depp insisting that the flight attendant give him an oxygen tank and the two of you used it?
No.
Okay. Do you recall Mr. Depp drinking champagne on the plane?
God damn it, Shizzy.
I don't know what he was drinking. I'm
Okay,
sure I was
okay.
having wine. He could have been having champagne.
Do you remember him drinking a
Or
couple?
was that
was
just...
that
you
was
guys have
fun.
both admins on here.
I'm working through something here.
That was so much fun.
Lesbians.
I hear it now. All right, cool. Hello.
Good to see you. Good to see you, Jess.
Hi. I just boomered out big time. Sorry about that.
No, don't worry about it. I was giving you a hard time.
Always.
Oh, good.
It's deserved.
It is. It is. This is a good.
No.
This Elaine get just hammered on this is so much fun.
This is one of my favorite witnesses. His face the entire time is just so like, sit down and shut up, Elaine. It's
He's
perfect.
DGF.
Yes.
My favorite witness for Johnny is Rottenborn. He does so much to help the case. It's beautiful.
Elaine does more to help. Rottenborn, I think, was the better of the two attorneys.
I know, but whenever he's interviewing Johnny on the stand, oh, it's so bad, so cringe. I love it.
Bottles of
I
champagne?
don't know how much.
And it's your testimony that Mr. Depp didn't kick Amber?
I didn't see anything like that.
Okay. Did you see Mr. Depp go to the back of the plane and pass out and moan loudly?
I don't recall that.
You don't recall that either?
No.
Okay. Can we pull up Defendant's Exhibit 245, please? And Your Honor, I show no objection to it in the filings. So I'm going to move the admission of it, and I'm going to ask it to be published.
No. Any objection to 245?
Yes, Your Honor, it's improper impeachment. It's not to him.
All right, if you want to approach, we'll see what your objections, you have your list of objections from your exhibits.
I object to Elaine.
Yes, I think everybody objects to Elaine. But the sexting stuff might have been actual threats of violence. Well, that was just, it was just, yeah.
He probably doesn't get laid.
I would imagine.
Mr. White, are you aware that Mr. Deuters apologized to Amber for Mr. Depp's conduct afterwards?
Lack of
After the
foundation,
document-
hearsay.
Oh, Jay
Your Honor.
shouldn't hearsay
Outstanding
objection.
Next question. Okay.
Jesus.
Where did you go? Were you with Mr. Depp
Excuse
after
me,
you
Your Honor.
left the plane?
I apologize. May we take this down?
It's just on the witness, but yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, good.
Did you leave the plane with Mr. Depp?
I mean, I got off the plane at the same time. I'm assuming I went to my own home.
Okay, and what was Mr. Depp's state?
I don't recall.
You don't recall if he was passed out or not?
No.
When you say you don't recall, as you're sitting here today under oath, you honestly can't remember if Mr. Depp was passed out when you left the plane?
Asked and answered, Your Honor.
All right. I'll allow it this one time. Go ahead. You can answer, sir.
There was lots of plane flights. I mean, the only reason I remember this one was because Amber yelled at me on that flight.
Ooh.
Do you remember my question?
I don't recall.
All right,
I mean,
so-
I could have gotten off the plane and just left. I don't know.
And Mr. Depp could have kicked Amber on that plane, right?
Your Honor, asked and answered.
Not that I saw.
Okay, and he could have passed out.
Not that I recall.
Okay.
Good answers on his part.
Yeah, but he could have not answered and let the judge rule on the objection.
How
Yeah.
many times were you
Was
with
worth it.
Amber and Mr. Depp together?
Oh, I have no idea. No idea.
Well, what would the circumstances have been?
Invited over for something or other, or, Johnny and I may have been recording some music or something, and she was there. I don't know, at work.
Now, you had a very close personal relationship with Christy Dabrowski, didn't you?
We're friends, yes.
Yes, and you were more than friends for quite a few years. were you
Your
not?
Honor, relevance, may we approach?
It's impeachment.
Objection,
Bias.
relevance.
Bias.
Approach, please.
It doesn't. Elaine, shut the hell up. They're approaching the damn thing. So just shut
Can't
up.
help herself.
So, have you thought about reading the sidebars during the sidebars of this and putting it all together?
I thought about it, but I just don't
I
have.
haven't.
You hadn't thought about it? I thought it would be funny.
You can become a member on your own channel.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't
like you-
pay
retarded.
YouTube.
I'm so retarded. I'm so totally off topic. My bad. You have my attention. I'm a spaz, I know.
That's okay. We love the spaz. No, the doing the sidebars would be fun and interesting. But some of them you're probably going to want to pull your teeth out with. And it's the pulling my teeth out with I just don't want to do. Plus then I have to figure out where the sidebars are and get all that stuff pulled up, and I don't know where that's all located at. It's a lot of bandwidth.
It is. It would be a lot to do. I was wondering if you had thought about it. I had just only considered it now.
Yeah, I had thought about it because the sidebars I think would be funny to watch and see how stupid Elaine is, and Rottenborn, just to get a good comparison of what they were saying on the in the back. But I don't know. Just seems like it could be real tedious. No different than some trials where you're just like,
Yeah.
If I have to hear stupid remarks one more time, I just want to, I want to punch my camera.
Now, you testified that the wedding that you went to, the one in Los Angeles, seemed
Lost
to be a
that
little rushed.
objection.
Yes,
How long were they engaged?
I don't know.
Could it have been a pretty substantial period of time?
I don't know.
Okay, so when you say rushed,
We didn't know a wedding was going to happen.
well, and you said you were at the offices of Ad Infinitum, is that right? Okay, when you say we didn't know any wedding was going to happen, who's we?
Several of the people at the wedding didn't know it was going to
Okay,
happen.
okay. Now, did you know what Amber's film schedule was?
No,
Did you know whether she was out of town, coming back in and leaving again?
I did not know.
Did you know what Johnny's film schedule was?
I probably knew we were off.
Because you were his sound technician,
Yeah,
right?
we were
Okay,
starting a film or
and
ending a film or whatever. Yes,
Okay, and when did you leave for Pirates 5?
I don't recall when.
Was he filming right before Pirates 5?
I don't recall.
Okay, so as soon after they did the Los Angeles wedding, they went to the Bahamas, correct?
I don't remember the time difference.
But you didn't go to that wedding.
No,
Do you know how many people did?
No.
Do you know how much organization was involved in getting that wedding together in the Bahamas?
no, I don't know.
Do you know whether, do you know, well,
No.
okay, I guess you don't know, so I guess I shouldn't
Do
ask.
you know? Do
So
you know?
as a
Do you
practical
know?
matter,
Do you know?
You don't know about any of the communications between Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard for when they wanted the wedding to take place, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Okay,
Your Honor, I just have a few.
sure. Redirect.
Is Elaine stupid? Yes, Your Honor. Is she a moron? Yes.
Yes.
She asked you a bunch of stupid
Mr.
questions.
Wyatt,
Yes.
you testified earlier that you worked with Mr. Depp as a sound technician on more than 10 feature films. Is that correct?
Correct.
Have you ever worked on feature films as a sound technician or in any other capacity on films without Mr. Depp?
Yes, I have.
On those instances and those films not involving Mr. Depp, were your travel costs covered?
Yes, they are.
Were your hotel costs covered?
Yes, they are.
Was your airfare covered?
Yes.
Were those arrangements handled in any way different from the films on which you worked with Mr. Depp?
No.
What was your understanding of why Mr. Depp was late on the set to Pirates 5?
I'm just going to use your microphone.
Yeah, use your microphone.
Objection, Your Honor.
Elaine, your mic.
No, and he wasn't there with him, and he doesn't know.
Directly related to the cross.
I'll allow it. Go ahead.
Sorry, say it again.
What was your understanding of why Mr. Depp was late occasionally on the set of Pirates 5?
My understanding was he was having arguments with Amber.
And the wedding that you attended, or the ceremony in Los Angeles, that was right before Mr. Depp was to start filming Pirates 5, correct?
Yes.
Is that one of the reasons Amber wanted to be married right then?
Objection, foundation, hearsay.
All right. Foundation. I'll sustain as the foundation.
You
Mr.
just need
Wyatt.
the question. Don't need the answer.
You've known Mr. Depp for a long time,
Nope.
correct?
Yes.
And you've worked with him for a long time.
Yes.
Has any woman other than Ms. Heard ever accused him of raising a hand to her?
Objection, Your Honor. He's already asked that beforehand, and I wouldn't know the cost of
Asked
that.
and answered. Sustain sustain
Thank
the
you, Your Honor.
objection. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Wyatt. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Nothing further.
All right. Is this witness subject to recall?
Yes.
All right, sir, since you're subject to recall, you cannot discuss your testimony with anybody and do not watch anything in the news media at this time, and then you may be recalled at a later date, okay? All right, thank you, sir. You have a good day. You're excused for today.
Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a few housekeeping matters to take care of, and also I know the cafeteria was a little rough yesterday, so I'm going to go ahead and give you an extended lunch today until 2 o'clock. So just do not discuss the case with anybody and don't do any outside research, and we'll see you back here at 2 p.m., okay? If you just go with Deputy Lisa.
All right. So we will be coming up on Johnny's thing. As you can see, that was only about an hour, 2 hours in, and we just skipped 2 hours to get to the next portion. That's how long their break was.
An extended lunch. I like that.
It was more than extended lunch because I think they played a lot of that live that we didn't see. They didn't keep it in the feed or whatever for this. They just cut it all out and put in a big blank spot there. If I'm not mistaken, there was a lot of arguments going back and forth between counsel and trying to get like certain things in. They were just saying, nope, can't do it, can't have that in there. The original feed, I think, did. I could be wrong on that, though. there was a lot of housekeeping crap that he had to deal with. It was crazy. And somebody said something.
Damn. Okay, Jess.
What?
She's, aw.
Shizzy's one of the best and my favorites to stream with. One of the
What
best
am
and one of my
I?
favorites.
That poop emoji?
One of the best and one of my favorites. It's not a singular. They're not exclusive.
She
Mutually
didn't say
exclusive.
the best.
I'm just giving you crap. I'm actually glad you joined us because I miss you.
I haven't been
Aw.
on. I haven't been
I know.
in it.
Did
Hey.
Shizzy tell you to come on, or did you actually come in on your own?
No, he's like, you know how to get in here. We're on
Yeah.
Jess's.
Girl,
You know
I
this.
told you.
I know.
You know how many times I've told her you can literally crash any of my streams.
Yeah.
I
I
haven't
don't
been.
care.
I haven't been on. I haven't been streaming. I haven't been doing the things, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come in for a little bit.
Same.
Yeah. Well, and, and I know that I think Caitlin, didn't you do something with the other night, last night maybe?
Last night with winning, yeah, we watched the GOP debate.
Oh, that had to be silly and fun.
It was
I only
interesting.
listened-
I mean,
I listened to some of it.
Yeah, I caught some of it.
they were much more respectful of the people who were like directing the debate, so that was nice. They weren't
Yeah.
all talking over each other. I appreciated that compared to the last one.
It's just you missed the woman today screwing up her own trial, which the state was losing by taking the stand. I don't think the state was losing, and I didn't
Which
miss
trial was that?
it. It's the lady that ran over her husband in a SUV, and then found him like dead in the snow the next day.
Karen Reed?
No,
Hmm.
it's what's her
Oh,
name?
the one Baker's doing?
Yeah, the one Baker's doing.
Okay.
That's what she's talking about. I missed.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's really screwy. And I was on with the Baker the other day, and I think we figured out how this went about and why he ended up where he did. And I think it was just a horrible accident, and she had no idea because I think she was too plastered to know any better of
Oh.
what happened. So
Okay.
that's my personal opinion. I stick by it. So I think that she's gonna be found guilty. That's my thought.
Damn.
Still innocent until proven guilty in a jury, but I think she's
It's not
Lorianne.
looking
Yeah.
good for her.
No, it's not looking good for her at all. And she just like tanked it today by getting up on the stand. It was not good. I'm sure her
Fisk.
her lawyer is going, great woman. So yeah, like I said, Johnny is the next one up, and here we go. You think I should slow it down so we can get his inflections?
No, not this first part. This first part is his background. Probably speed through his background, and then once it starts getting into the nitty gritty of the Amber, you could slow it down maybe.
Gotcha.
I was gonna say, remember that this first part is really slow getting through his childhood.
All right.
That's right.
I hope lunch went okay.
He does
All right,
tend to
good.
talk slow.
All right. Your next witness?
Your Honor, we call Mr. John C. Depp.
All right. If you'd stand, sir.
Is his middle name Charles?
I don't know.
Or Chris?
Something like that. Chuck.
I think it's Christopher.
I think that's right.
Yeah, John Christopher Depp.
Ah,
Okay. All right, yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mr. Depp.
Good afternoon.
Can you please tell the jury why you're here today?
Yes. About 6 years ago, Miss Heard made some quite heinous and disturbing, brought these disturbing criminal
You're muted.
So you hate it when people say he talks too slow. I don't think he talks very slow. I think he speaks very deliberate. And it's not about him talking too slow. Getting the inflections right whenever it's going really fast is whenever it becomes a little bit painful. And that's, also, like I said, it seems like he's very thoughtful of what he's saying, like paying attention to that. Oh no, you're beast today. You don't know what to say. God, that's hilarious.
God damn it, triggered. He's messing with the bot. I don't have Johnny Depp links in the bot triggered.
Oh, that would be funny if you did.
That'd be creepy if I did.
Where every time that someone triggers it like that it charges them like $1.99 in super chat.
I'm gonna go put some toast in the toaster because I'm hungry and I want sourdough toast. Be right back.
Sounds good.
Ooh.
All my daughter wants to eat.
Sourdough toast.
Sourdough toast. Specific brand too.
You don't make your own?
I'm not that much of a trad wife, Shizzy. To make my own bread.
So
I
I
make
have
my
a
own
bread
laundry
maker.
soap.
That's amazing. I want your recipe because I've tried and I do not like the way
You do
mine comes
liquid,
out.
right? You do the liquid kind?
I do powder.
I do powder.
I just do the Costco powder and I mix in the OxyClean powder. And then I do like a splash of Dawn in there.
Okay. I use a bar of Fells Naphtha, a cup of borax, and a cup of Arm & Hammer baking soda wash.
Okay.
It smells nice.
Isn't borax what you use to clean countertops with?
Borax can be used for many things.
Yes.
Okay.
Against me that were not based in any species of truth. It was a complete shock that it just didn't need to go in that direction, as nothing of the kind had ever happened. Though the relationship, there were arguments and things of that nature, but never did I myself reach the point of striking Miss Heard in any way, nor have I ever struck any woman in my life. And so I, at the time, because the news of her accusations had sort of permeated the industry and then made its way through media and social media, became quite a global let's say, quote unquote, fact, if you will. And since I knew that there was no truth to it whatsoever, I felt it my responsibility to stand up not only for myself in that instance, but stand up for my children, who at the time were 14 and 16, and so they were in high school. And
wow, that puts them in their 20s now.
I thought it was diabolical that my children would have to go to school and
have you
have
seen
their
pictures
friends
of
or
Lily lately?
people in the
She is
school
absolutely gorgeous.
approach them with
Oh my gosh, she's
the
stunning.
infamous People magazine cover with
I don't follow that stuff.
Miss Heard with a dark bruise on her face.
She might be a little too young.
And then it just kept.
She started, I think, modeling.
It kept multiplying.
And that's
it
where
just
I've
kept
seen
getting
her
bigger
do
and bigger.
stuff.
So it was my responsibility, I felt, to not only attempt to clear my name for the sake of, well, for many reasons, but I wanted to clear my children of this horrid thing that they were having to read about their father, which was untrue. And also, after many years of being in this industry, at the time, I'd probably been in the industry 30 plus years, 35 years. Never had any problems, anything like that. And I'd met many people over the years, many of the people, and had the opportunity to talk to those people and to even give advice to these people. And I'm not, my goal is the truth. My goal is the truth because it killed me that people that I had spoken with, that I had met with over the years, who maybe were in a not such a great position and they needed advice, and I gave them the best advice I could. All I could think of was that those people would think that I was a fraud and that I had lied to them. And so I had to wait for my opportunity to address the charges, which were criminal charges. And they just weren't true. So I felt the responsibility of clearing the record as the only way that I could get to the point where I could speak has really taken this full 6 years. And it's been 6 years of trying times. It's very strange when one day you're Cinderella, so to speak, and then in 0.6 seconds you're Quasimodo. And I didn't deserve that, nor did my children, nor did the people who have believed in me for all these years. I didn't want any of those people to believe that I had done them wrong or lied to them or that I was a fraud. I pride myself on honesty. I pride myself on truth. Truth is the only thing I'm interested in. Other lies will get you nowhere, but lies build upon lies and build upon lies. It's too much to cover. I'm obsessed with the truth, and so today is the first opportunity that I've been able to speak about this case in full for the first time.
Mr. Depp, how do you feel about the intimate details of your life being aired in this process?
As a father, raising kids, when they were very, very little, it was important to me, very important to me, to try to shield my children as much as possible from looking at their father or their mom, for that matter, as novelties. I didn't want my children to experience hordes of paparazzis. So I was always a very private person. So for me to come up here and stand before you, or sit before you all, and spill the truth is quite exposing. And it's unfortunate that it's not only exposing for myself, it's exposing for my family, it's exposing for Miss Heard, it's exposing for, it never had to go in this direction. And so I can't say that I'm embarrassed because I know that I'm doing the right thing.
Now, Mr. Depp, I'd like to turn a bit to your upbringing. We heard a bit from your sister Christy last week, but can you please tell the jury in your own words about your childhood upbringing?
I had a very interesting childhood, one that I thought was normal until a certain age. my mother, I was born in Kentucky, and then we moved, in which we moved around quite a lot when I was a kid. So you were always just, my mom had this, her feet were on fire and she had to move, you know, so we moved constantly. So you were always the new kid, and that wasn't ever particularly pleasant. Then we moved to Florida, South Florida, when I was about 7 or 8. And again, moved several times. But my mother was quite unpredictable. She was very unpredictable. She had the ability to be as cruel as anyone can be with all of us. That is to say, my sister Christy and my brother Danny and my sister Debbie, also my father. So essentially, she could become quite violent, and she was quite violent, and she was quite cruel, and though there was physical abuse, certainly, which could be in the form of an ashtray being flung at you, you know, it hits you in the head, or you'd get beat with a high heel shoe or a telephone or whatever's handy. So in our house, we were never exposed to any type of safety or security. The only thing that one could do, really, was to try to stay out of the line of fire. I started to be able to observe, and I could start to see when she was about to head into a situation where she was going to get riled up, and somebody was going to get it. Generally, it was me.
Mr. Depp, you mentioned that your mother could be cruel. How could she be cruel?
Well, the various categories, I suppose, there's physical violence, of course. There's physical abuse, to which she was. That was a constant. That was just a constant, you know. We were all somewhat shell-shocked, you know. Even if she just walked past us, you'd sort of shield yourself because you didn't know what was going to happen. Excuse me. And so there was the physical abuse, which was a constant. There was quite a lot of verbal abuse. There was quite a lot of name calling and bullying. You know, making fun of whatever defect, you know, one might have. You know, if my brother wore glasses, so of course he was four eyes, and his teeth were messed up in the front, so he was buck-toothed as well. And my sister Christy, which this is such a hideous psychological play. My father's parents were quite refined. My mother comes from Eastern Kentucky, which is where you grow up in shacks and hollers, you know, and my mother despised my father's parents, and my grandmother's name was Violet, and every now and again you would hear my mother just scream across the house, "Come here, Violet, get in here, Violet." And Christy, my sister, knew very well that that was a deep cut psychologically, emotionally, but we had to take it. I mean, you just had to take the pain. I was born with a very strange, it was a very rare thing in my eye, as the back of the lens is spherical. Normally, is spherical. So in this eye, it isn't normal. this eye, I was born with a more conical lens, so my brain never learned to see out of my left eye. And they noticed when I was about 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, that I had a lazy eye, a wandering eye, and she would call me cockeye, one eye, anything she could get to demean, humiliate. I even had to wear an eye patch on my good eye to strengthen my bad eye, so that it would cease to wander. With a muscle, it was exercising the muscles of the eye. Though the brain had never learned to see, so I still, my vision in my left eye is, I'm legally blind in my left eye. But so yeah, the verbal abuse, the psychological abuse was almost worse than the beatings, because the beatings were just physical pain, and the physical pain you learn to deal with, you learn to accept it, you learn to.
My mom said the exact same thing.
Deal with it, but the.
You're muted, I think, Shizzy.
When he got to this part of the testimony, it was pretty rough.
Yeah, it was so reminiscent of all the things my mom had talked about her childhood. It was like, oh, that sounds like Helen. That sounds like Helen. Like his mom sounds like my mom's stepmom, with the way she was emotionally abusive on top of physically abusive. But the emotional abuse was almost worse, and the manipulation of being super sicky sweet and like making you feel like, okay, this is okay, everything's fine. And then the physical abuse started, and like the hateful speech, and like it was just a roller coaster. And like the way that he talks about it is exactly like Helen. Evil woman. Glad she's dead.
My mother is a lot like his mother in that sense of verbal, physical, can't sit still in one place for very long, just aggressive, violent. I mean, every bit of what, and I think that hits really hard. I mean, at least I got out of it. Had to leave my little brother and sister to suffer her angst after that, but there was nothing I could do. You know, my older brother went through the same thing, as did my older sister. So it was that kind of thing where, you know, it really hit home whenever he started talking about this. Like, I know this type of person. My mother's bipolar, something like that. I don't know, undiagnosed, because she won't go seek help for it. I mean, it rings, you know. I think if anybody's been in any sort of violent situation like this, they understand. It wouldn't surprise me if part of the jury was, you know, knows somebody that suffers from that same kind of abuse.
Well, considering people that may have not experienced or been associated with any sort of abuse like this, they can go, oh, he's just acting. Oh, he's just this. He's just, you know, performing a role, and okay, whatever. But it's like, if you know of it, if it's close to you, you recognize it. It's like, yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The words, it's not what he's saying. It's the way he replays it.
Psychological and emotional abuse. That's what.
Back, I'm going to grab.
That's what kind of tore us up, I think.
What about your father? What was he like?
My father was a very kind man. In fact, my father's still alive. He's a very kind man. He's a very quiet man. In fact, he's very shy. Not a confrontational person in any way. And when Betty Sue, my mother, would go off on a tangent toward my father, and of course in front of the kids it was no matter to her. He amazingly remained very, very stoic, and never, as she was rationing him with horrible things, he stood there and just looked at her while she delivered the pain, and he swallowed it. He took it. There was never one moment, never a moment when my father lost control and attacked my mother or hit my mother or even said a bad thing to my mother. The things that I witnessed were, there were a couple of times when it got too far that I could see his eyes welling up as he was staring at her, saying nothing. And then the most that he would do is he would punch a wall. I once saw him punch a wall and shatter his hand because it wasn't drywall. It was proper concrete and steel wire and rebar and things of that nature. And but still, never touched her, never argued with her. He remained a gentleman. And to me, as a 5-year-old boy, I kept thinking to myself, I kept wondering why does he take it? How does he take this? And why doesn't he leave her? But he didn't. He was able to maintain his calm and his composure. He was able to maintain his relationship with his children. He was a good man. He is a good man.
You mentioned that you saw your father punch a wall. How many times did you witness that?
I mean, out of, I couldn't count the amount of fights that they had, but I know that I've seen my father strike a wall 2 or 3 times tops. Once when he broke his hand, but yeah, 2, 3 times at tops.
Was your father ever abusive to you or any of your siblings?
No, my father was not an abusive man. At the same time, my father was also, to some degree, at the mercy of Betty Sue, because if he argued with what she wanted done, that would just turn into another barrage of hatred towards him. So I can remember my father coming home from work, and maybe I'd gotten a bad report card, or maybe I'd gotten in trouble at school, or something like that. And my father would arrive home from work, and the first thing she would say was, "John, take him out there. He gets the belt. Give him the belt." And he wanted to know what it was about, so he'd take me out to the garage, and I'll never forget this white, thick leather 1970s era, thick leather white belt that he would take off, and then he would commence to inflict the punishment on me. But interestingly, there was one time when my father, I kept telling him I didn't do this. It was another incident. I kept swearing to him that I did not do what my mom had said that I'd done. But he went through with the punishment anyway. And then, not long after, he found out that I had been telling the truth and that I hadn't done what my mom had said that I'd done. And he came to me and apologized to me for having gone through with the whipping, the belt. And I have to say, my mom never did that. She couldn't. She knew what she knew. She was raised how she was raised. And I had no power to change what was inside of her, you know.
How did your parents' relationship ultimately come to an end, to your understanding?
When my father left, I didn't realize that he had left. He left for, I was 15. I had already left school, and I was a musician. I was playing in clubs and such. And he left for work one morning, just like every day, and was packing his car, and then he left. And then hours later, my mom, Betty Sue, came home from work. It was about 3:30 in the afternoon. And she walked in the door and stopped and just looked around like she felt something. And I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "Your daddy's gone." I said, "Well, yeah, I seen him leave for work this morning." She said, No, he's gone, he's gone. And she ran into their bedroom and into their closet, and I followed her, and she opened the door, and there was his rack of clothing and all his belongings were gone. And she was quite upset. And I took her car and drove to my father's work. And I sat down in front of him at 15, and I said, "Listen, seems as though somebody stole all your clothes out of the closet." And he said, "Yeah. He said, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I can't live it anymore. You're the man now." And those words didn't quite sit well with me. I didn't feel like I was ready to hear those words, but that's what I got. Then my mom went into a very, very dark place, a very deep, dark depression, as you can imagine. And one afternoon, I woke up. I'd fallen asleep, and I woke up and walked out into the living room, and I saw my mother, very feebly, and like almost, it was like a slow motion crawl. If I could stand up, I could show you just what I saw. Do you mind?
You can stand up.
Thank you. I saw my mother, in that mode. So instantly, I knew that something was dreadfully wrong, and there was drool coming out of her mouth. And as I was about to run and call, the front door busted open, and my uncle and 2 paramedics came in and threw her on the gurney and whisked her out of the house to get her to the hospital to pump her stomach. And she had swallowed a multitude of pills to try to take herself out, to try to commit suicide. And when she got out of the hospital, she was a small firecracker of a woman. She was about 5'2". But when she got out of the hospital, the depression was so deep. She was down to she lived on the couch, and she weighed about 70 pounds. And all that imagery spun into my head at that time, that I thought that was in my head at the time, I thought that was a cowardly way for my father to have left. And I was deeply upset by that. Until my father and I had a conversation years later, where I asked him what really happened, how did it happen when I was older, and he told me the story.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Sure.
Crazy. Yeah, it's pretty harsh. Good to see you, Miami Spice. Glad you could come hang out. Say hello.
Hey, Expert. I haven't even said hi to Expert yet. I'm so bad.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm used to you just saying goodbye.
You
If I
say
even
hello.
say goodbye before I exit. Consider
I
yourself
got
lucky,
you.
mister.
Hey, Lex.
You can do it.
Hi, expert.
Aw.
Hey, Caitlin, how you doing?
Eh.
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 I don't think that was towards you, expert. That was just in life in general. Howdy,
I'm outta here.
cowboy.
I was
I
listening
would-
to Shooter Jennings, man.
I was very disappointed in him because I started to believe that his exit was sneaky, cowardly. He didn't, when he said goodbye to me when he left for work that morning, he just said goodbye, goodbye, Bob. And I went, see you later, Pop. That was it. Until I learned the truth from him.
And without getting into what your father told you, how has your impression of your father changed now?
Objection, relevance.
Your Honor, this is just an understanding of his perception of his family.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Mr. Depp, what have you learned from your experience in your childhood and observing your father in your childhood?
I learned that I was wrong about my first impressions of his exit from the family. Very wrong. And I'll tell you one thing that I learned that was one of the best lessons I believe I've ever learned in my life, ever could learn in my life, was based on my experiences as a child and what I'd seen and experienced. I knew exactly how to raise children. When my girl Vanessa got pregnant, I knew exactly how to raise children, which was to do the opposite of what they did, of what Betty Sue did. Never raise your voice in front of the children, never. Screaming out the word no to them. I never wanted to tell my kids no. I wanted to tell them that I wanted to show them that there were options. You don't have to stick the coat hanger in the electrical socket. Saying no is an abrupt thing, but to talk to them and say, if you understand the repercussions of something, then you won't go there. So maybe think about this as opposed to this. Give this some thought, but that will clearly, that could kill you. So I would ease them away from things of that nature with a more of a conversation as opposed to a flat out, don't you ever do that again, and threats and things of that nature. I did not raise my children that way. Nor did Vanessa. We never raised our voices in front of our children ever.
And it takes effort.
How do you think your
to not
experiences with your
react that way.
parents in your childhood affected your approach to your relationship with Miss Heard?
I'm sorry, one more time.
How did your experiences observing your parents as a child affect your approach to your relationship with Miss Heard?
Well, in the beginning of my relationship with Miss Heard, there was, from what I recall and what I remember, she was it was as if she was too good to be true. She was attentive, she was loving, she was smart, she was kind, she was funny, she was understanding, and we had many things in common, certain blues music and music, literature, things of that nature. So for that year or year and a half, it was amazing. There were a couple of things that, I don't know, stuck in my head that I noticed that I thought might be a little bit of a dilemma at some point. For example, I worked quite a lot, and when I would come home from work, I would come in the house or the hotel, and she would sit me down on the couch and give me a glass of wine and take my boots off, set them to the side, and I'd never experienced anything like that in my life. I just never thought I just never experienced that before. And it became a regular thing that she did, this kind of routine. And I remember one night I came home from work, and I think she was on the phone or something, or busy. She was doing something. And so I sat down on the couch and I took my boots off, and suddenly Miss Heard approached with this look on her face and she just said, "What did you just do? What did you do?" I said, "What do you mean?" "You took your boots off." I said, "Yeah, yes, I did. You were busy, you know." No, that's my job. That's what I do. You don't do that. I do that." "Okay, all right then." And then she said, "Let me get you a glass of wine." And she brought me the glass of wine. But I did take pause, of course, at the fact that she was visibly shaken or upset that I had broken her rules of routine. I thought that strange. And then
A little OCD coming out.
once you notice something like that, then you start to notice other little tidbits and things that come out. And then within a year and a half, she had become this another person almost.
Mr. Depp, we're going to talk about Miss Heard in a couple minutes, but I'd like to first talk about your career in Hollywood. And so could you please tell the jury how you ended up acting in the first place?
I ended up acting by accident. I was a musician, and I moved out to Los Angeles with my band when I was 20 years old. And then there were a couple of things that happened in the band where the band split up. And I remember I was filling out job applications, and then with a friend of mine who happens to be, he was an actor, less known then than he is now, Nicolas Cage. And I was filling out job applications at any video stores, clothing stores, anything, and just to be able to pay the rent. And Nick Cage said, why don't you meet my agent, because I think you're an actor. I think you could be an actor. And I said, "Look, I'll meet anybody, I'll do anything at this point." And so he sent me to his agent, Eileen Feldman, and I met with her. She sent me to read for a casting director named Annette Benson, who was casting a film called The Nightmare on Elm Street. And they brought me back to read for the director, Wes Craven. And I read for Wes Craven and somehow got the job. But I mean, I was by no means an actor. I didn't have any desire to be an actor. I was a musician. But the fact that these people were going to pay me what I found to be a ludicrous sum of money, which was it was kind of the SAG minimum. It was $1,284 a week, which I'd never seen that kind of dough before in my life.
20-year-old making that kind of money, that's pretty good.
I suddenly, then I did some other couple of dumb movies because I still, in my mind, I was a musician, and this was just a way to pay the rent, pay the bills, live. Then suddenly I found myself on that road. I had been placed on that road as an actor, and then one thing led to another, from film to film, and then I was cast in a TV series called 21 Jump Street.
Well, thank you Thank you for Valhalla for the raid. Awesome. Appreciate it. It's pretty cool of you. Make sure that all you raiders give that thumb up to everybody. Thank you. Appreciate it.
When I
Hey,
was
Shin.
22.
Yeah.
I gotta take this moment. I'm so sorry. I gotta go.
Hey,
But
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
There
for
you go.
coming on and
Good to see you.
and appreciate it,
It
guys.
was good to see you guys. I will be
Thanks for
back
joining us.
soon. The kiddo is having a rough night, so I'm gonna go spend.
Hey,
What are you doing
no, that's
tomorrow night,
good.
Caitlin?
We'll talk later. Thank you guys.
Bye,
Bye.
Caitlin. Take care. See you soon.
Have a good one.
Cool. Very cool. Make sure you guys, hit up Caitlin comments. She's got a YouTube channel also. Just give her a little bit of love. If you haven't subbed to her yet, go check her out.
I believe.
Mr. Depp, between the time that you were cast in Nightmare on Elm Street and you were cast in 21 Jump Street, how did you enjoy acting during that time?
It was foreign to me. But I didn't have any great ambition to be an actor. I'm a normally. I've always been quite a shy person. I've always been quite introverted, and so there was a very strange metamorphosis from being one of four, that is to say,
I'm just
one
saying.
of four in a band where you have this
Your
Same.
$2
this
super
brotherhood.
chat, you can take your $2 super chat
and
and
you're out
shove
there.
it up your butt.
Especially if you're going to
50 or
troll.
more. Uh-huh.
Yeah, if you're going to troll, that's the only way you're going to get it read.
What happened?
Nothing.
I was listening to
People coming in wanting to talk and troll, but if they're going to troll, it's going to have to be a hell of a lot more than $2. Just saying, if you want your super chat read, then you're going to be trolling Jess. Better make it good. Better make it worth her while if you want to get it
Yeah,
read.
if you have a fetish where you like being shamed, $50 or more.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry,
cheap.
Cole.
$50.
She'll break out the whip. She'll crack the whip
It
while she's
hurts
reading
too,
your
man.
super chat.
I was listening to some Waylon Jennings. You guys ever just take time out to listen to Waylon?
Yeah.
Gino!
Gino Cast.
Sorry. Have to say hi.
Absolutely.
Doesn't Gino make pizza rolls?
It's Gino Cast. Completely different. Oh, it's Iris. Oh, is it
Hey,
really?
friend.
Audra, good to see you. And Iris, is your birthday? Well, happy birthday, Irish.
Happy birthday.
Oh my
Happy
gosh,
birthday.
where's the baker at? Somebody go wake him up.
Man.
He owes you nipples. Tell him that.
Yes.
That's the new birthday thing for his subscribers.
She's going, no.
Oh, you don't want baker nipples?
It's not her birthday.
Oh.
Every day's your birthday,
It
Irish.
could be.
It could be.
It's your unbirthday.
It's your unbirthday. Yes, your unbirthday. It's just as good as your birthday, except more fun.
I like my birthday suit.
Well, according to you, you're already halfway there with no pants.
Yeah, I know.
Why are we wearing pants? Who's
I
wearing
know.
pants?
I'm
I
wearing
don't know.
pants.
Shame. For shame. So
And
disappointed
shoes.
now.
I know.
Shoes? You mean
Yeah.
no exposed feet? Oh my gosh. There's gonna be
Yeah,
so
no risk
many
for
disappointed people.
No risk.
Wait a
Gonna be
second.
so
You're a redhead.
disappointed.
What are your toes like? I'm working on
They're
a
like-
documentary.
How so?
They're like
I
pink
don't
little
know.
piggies. Pink
They're
little
normal
piggies.
toes. Actually, I
think-
kind of like monkey feet. I can pick things up with them very easily.
Oh my gosh, White Rabbit hates when I do that. She hates it. She's like, get those things away from me. And then I do the talking toes. Do you have talking toes?
No,
Oh, talking toes.
it's like you
They're
just
just-
wiggle your toes.
Hello.
Okay, I can do that.
How are you doing?
How are you? Good to see
I put
you.
it like this and go, hello, how are you?
I can
Or she
totally
gets-
see you doing that, expert. You're
Yeah,
such a
she gets so mad. She's like, I will cut that off. And I'm like, oh no, don't cut off the little piggy. She goes, I'm not talking about your toes.
Oh no.
That's because he comes in in his shorts and goes wiggle, 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 wiggle.
When I put the toes in some shorts, little kid shorts, they go, hello, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Hello. Guess
You're
what this little
embarrassing,
piggy went
Jess.
to?
You're embarrassing, Jess.
I was like, this little piggy. Oh wait, this little piggy went to market. This little piggy went home.
We're derailing this.
This little piggy went to the market. Wait, hold on, market. Which one goes wee 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 all the way home?
It's Pinky Toe.
So
Those are
how
the one
many of
next
us
to it,
thought that? How many of us thought that that piggy was actually like going to the grocery store market and not like the market?
I just figured that out like a couple months ago.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been the last several years for me, but still.
Well, at least you can admit to it. Yeah. I was like, wait a second. The market. Where'd the first one go?
Had roast beef.
That's kind of gross.
Pigs will eat anything.
Where'd the
Yeah,
third
they
one
will.
go?
Well, the second one had none, and the third one. Wait,
No, this little
haven't done
piggy went to.
this little piggy.
First little piggy went to the market.
I just did
The
something.
biggest one went to the market.
You want to see it?
This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy had
Yeah,
roast
I
beef.
do.
This little piggy had none.
You're on the wrong part. I can pull. I have.
369. Damn, you're fine. Move it till you sock it to me one more time.
Hoping she can suck it to me one more time.
I think I got the wrong lyrics.
I think you
Why
do
is this
too.
the funniest thing I've ever heard? Expert
Oh.
trying
What?
to.
What?
You're so cute. I can't.
Were those lyrics?
Yes.
Yeah. Get
I
low,
don't know what
Lil Jon
lyrics
and
they
the
were
East Side
to.
Boys.
What is it?
369. She fine. And suck it to me one more time. Get low. Get low, get low, get low, get low. To the
I thought
window.
it was Get Low, Sweet Cherry.
To the wall. To the sweat
Oh,
drop
that
down
song.
my Yeah.
Okay,
That
I
one.
only know that part.
And then Baker did it in British.
Danish.
Thank
Which
you.
was even funnier. I need to clip his too. That was really funny.
Oh. It was great. Look what you miss out on. I mean, there's all sorts. Guys, like, here's the thing. This is a roving band of debauchery. And anybody who's not following it, they just don't like life. They're like, this makes no sense. I need formality. And I
Yes.
say,
Oh.
down with formality. You take your piggy to the market. My piggy goes, wee, 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 wee. Do you ever do that when you go to the bathroom?
No.
Yeah, I
Pardon?
wee all the time.
Your little piggy goes, wee, 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 wee.
He starts squealing.
Okay, there you go. I
What?
was like, oh, okay. I'm with you now, but no.
I don't think it's your birthday either, Audrey. But just in case, I hope she's having a good one too. Mimsy, we're just playing with our chat. We know
What
it's not their
happened?
birthday, but if it was, they wouldn't tell us
Oh.
anyway.
It's Eris? I thought it was Iris.
No, none
It's
of them.
Iris.
It's Eris'
Neither of
birthday? I'm going to send her
Well, they
a
were
message.
saying it was Iris's,
You
but
should.
it's not her birthday.
I'm going to send both of them a message. We say, happy birthday to you. How do you
A
send
very
messages on
happy
this
on
thing?
birthday to you.
To you. To
Very
you.
happy on birthday. Well, there's a little bit of a crossover here because he did play the Mad Hatter, and the Mad Hatter was one of the, they sang the song in the animated version.
Yes.
There's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon here going on, but less
What
with
happened?
our
Who's-
derailment.
Are we still talking about the piggies with Kevin Bacon?
Yes.
Oh, on birthdays.
See, he said Kevin Bacon. You said piggies.
Oh,
See,
on birthdays, Mad Hatter,
piggies.
Johnny Depp.
I don't like bacon. I've come to this conclusion.
Bacon's
Why?
awesome.
I think that it's
Bacon's
cheap,
God's gift to Earth.
dude. Well, I like Hebrew National bacon. That's hard to find.
There is no Hebrew National Bacon.
You okay there, Reloaded? You
I was
sure?
gonna make a Jew joke, but I won't.
Why would you do that? They're
Because I can.
They're in a fight for their lives right now.
Oh yeah, I forgot. They have a war right now. Never mind. See? Inappropriate. time for a
Everybody's
Jew
at
joke.
war right now.
See?
That's true. I'm at war with myself in my head right now. You just can't see it.
I see it,
I'm at war with my pants. And I'm winning.
but you're not wearing pants.
That's why I'm winning. I need a lighter. I was thinking of the WD-40 and the combustible.
What do you need a lighter for?
To win the war against my pants. I'll light them on fire.
Okay.
Do you guys really not see fire dance? Is that just me?
Fire dances.
Yeah.
Sounds
Beautiful.
familiar.
Mm. If you ever
I
want
just
to
don't-
describe love, look at a flame.
What kind of flame?
Well, not one that ends with ER.
I am so confused.
Are you confused? Yeah, so are the ones that end in ER.
Usually how it is when experts hanging out with us.
Experts.
We all
great.
get
I love
confused.
expert.
I don't like hospitals.
I don't either.
They do have good food though in the cafeteria, not in the rooms. I can't eat scrambled eggs anymore because of hospitals.
Really?
The room food is gross.
What scrambled eggs they give you? No.
While we're on a
Sorry.
pause, I gotta take off here in a minute.
Where you going?
Well, we've got you.
I gotta put the kiddo to bed soon and the things.
The things.
What are
Wifely
those
Good
things?
night, my spirit child.
Good night, Jess.
He's very loud.
Who is?
All right. You know what?
Are
You guys are
okay?
great. I have missed seeing everybody. I've been kind of offline for about a week or so.
It's fine.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it great
sad.
being offline? Like, I love it.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to come back. And like the Taz stream, I was excited about because we had Devil Eye Elvis on, and I was looking forward to that conversation. And I don't know, it's like, oh, I'm gonna lurk in the chat. And then Shizzy said what he said, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it because I was still
Yeah.
riding the fun
Aw.
high. And yeah, it's been
Yeah,
nice being
it's-
offline, but I do appreciate it. And I do lurk in all of your chats, but I'm still here. I'm around.
Yeah, we know you're around. We enjoy seeing your lovely face and having your voice.
What are we talking about?
Yes.
Me.
We
We're
miss
talking
our
about me.
ginger.
Oh, it's great seeing you. Great
It's good to
seeing
see
you. I
you
love
too.
all my redheads.
It was a great time hanging with you on your channel last week. I can't believe it was
What'd
only
we
a week
do?
ago.
I know
yeah,
it
it's
goes
only been
by
a week.
so fast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Was I
right,
inappropriate?
guys.
I'm sorry.
No, you weren't inappropriate at all.
Then I'm really sorry.
You're sorry for not being inappropriate.
If you want me to be.
Oh, good lord. I'm gonna peace out. You guys are great. I'll talk to y'all
I don't
later.
understand what's wrong.
Love you. Take care.
Good night,
What's
everybody.
that?
Later, Jess.
Try to have a casual conversation among friends and
Yeah, she just jumps out like, oh, okay, well, expert.
I eat everybody.
Nikki. Nikki
Trump.
says that she's going to give the pillow some head. And what was the other thing that she said? Get some ass to the sheets. Something like that.
That's cool.
It is. It is very cool.
I love Elvis. I
Yeah.
want Elvis. I want a huge painting of Elvis on velvet. I feel like I'm.
I used to
complete.
get used to see all that kind of stuff in
Vans.
Juarez, Mexico.
Oh. Drive vans on the side of the road have that cool stuff.
Yeah, Elvis is still one of the top male voices of all time.
Dude, Led Zeppelin went to Graceland and wanted to record an album with him. Would
Yep.
that not have been like, let's just face it. The world wouldn't have existed after that. Like, I think that's pretty much like what the documentary, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, was trying to teach us, that if Elvis and Led Zeppelin had made an album together, there would have been nothing but harmony and peace.
No.
Awesome.
No, if I think if Spinal Tap would have, not gone down in flames, that would have
Rob Reiner has a lot to do with that.
yeah, well, it's Rob Reiner's fault. I blame Rob Reiner for making Spinal Tap horrible.
Anything been going on over on Twitter?
Yeah, see, Nikki says, give the pillow some head and the sheets some ass.
That's cool, Nikki. What are you doing? You want to come up here on stream? Says he likes to talk to people all night.
I do. I'm weird, aren't I?
Just a little.
Stairway to Graceland.
Oh, that'd be so awesome. So awesome. Whatever happened to that song, Walking in Memphis? That's a good song.
Who was that?
You know what's a really good song? Is Black Velvet. And I just heard those cool chicks.
Black
their
Velvet.
YouTube sensation. They did a cover of it. I dig her.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about, but it makes sense in my head.
Of course. Are we going to derail MG tonight?
What's he doing? Locomotive's got to go off the track.
Locomotive. He is a locomotive. He is a beast. We like the man.
His best stream he ever did was when he was playing Xbox.
That was a fun
but
stream.
That was just so much fun. I just I'm leaving this on. He was every once in a while I'd look up and he was just sitting there by himself playing. I was like, that's awesome.
Yep. That's what that Jess and I both game too.
I actually just scheduled the gaming stream for tonight
Oh,
that
did
I've
you?
been doing on Thursday nights.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I plan on doing some more gaming probably after I build this printer head.
I'm trying
That's
to get Mario Kart up.
Trying to get Mario Kart up.
Yeah, there's new I don't know, there's a bunch of new Mario Kart stuff. You got to pay for it though. I hate that.
Yeah, I don't pay for the stuff. I pay for the game and that's it.
Yeah, memberships though. I hate that. I hate it.
Mark Cohen and Alana Miles.
Yeah, Alana Miles is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not Alana Miles. It's not who I just saw. I'll see if I can find it. It's so awesome. Oh my gosh. What are we on? YouTube?
What?
YouTube.
He's confused, and then he confuses us.
What happened?
Yes.
Never fails.
Who got confused?
I'm
Johnny?
so confused.
You expert.
Fighting the world together
Oh,
to try to get that
Sershin
record.
and Tasky.
You found it?
I think so. I'll send it to you.
Okay. We'll find it.
Deal or whatever you're looking for. And when I got on the series and my life started to change in various ways, that is to say that people started to, you go into a restaurant and you'd see people whispering and pointing and all that. I was very uncomfortable with it. I was very uncomfortable with it, and I didn't like it.
Their order.
Well, you get that all the time, don't you?
Yeah, and it's so weird.
And you have to tell
What
them,
do you
no, I'm
do?
not. I'm not Johnny Depp. I'm much better looking.
No, I just usually have my flies open. What's up, Reloaded? What happened? What are you watching?
I'm listening to you because you're entertaining.
Yes.
Yeah, but looks aren't everything.
I said I'm listening to you. You're entertaining. I wasn't looking at you, realistically speaking. Awkward silence.
What?
What do you want to talk about? There's Johnny Depp's on screen. I can go back to just being quiet. There we go. I'm gone. Oh wait.
You got a
No.
buddy hanging out with you.
Hey, bud.
Hey, bud. No, he's on the other
The
side.
other side.
Other
Really,
side.
I'm
Reach out,
grabbing
reach
him
out
right
and touch
here.
him. Reach out and touch him.
Hey.
He ran away.
I tried eating him the other day. He wouldn't get in my mouth.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta play peekaboo. What the hell? I am. Are we live? I hope not. Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
we're still live.
No, we're offline. What are you talking about, Shizzy?
Yeah, we're totally offline. Nothing's happening.
Audra knows
See, chat's
my
not saying anything.
language. What's happening?
Huh?
I don't know.
What
Can
happened?
we play? We can't play music here. It sucks.
We can play it out off of this.
To be.
To be here, not to be.
I like this. Sershin and Zerskaya. That's who you need to check out. Sershin. Her new band's called No Apology.
We cannot just. Oh, shut up, stupid TV.
I hate the stupid TV. What's it telling you now?
Text the remote. Place the remote closer to the TV.
Has your TV ever told you to feed it a cat?
No. But it started playing a football game, and thank God the volume's low, because that would have totally messed with our stream.
got some sort of copyright on it.
Yeah.
God.
I was just trying to turn on the PS5 so I can see if there's any updates, because I'm trying to play tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Well, the gaming stream is the PC game, but when I get in bed, I like to play before I go to bed.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah. Tell us more.
This little piggy went to market. This little piggy went home.
Do it again, expert.
Tell us how you like to play with the little piggies.
No, it wasn't me. I didn't
sure?
say that.
You sure?
Oh yeah. I can never find the market. I need help.
Well, you know, you can find the market with your tongue.
Oh no! You seen people in grocery stores?
Did you see that girl that had her tongue split down the middle and could like twist it all? And
Oh, I saw that the other day. Gross.
it was gross. It looked like
Y'all shop at some weird places.
it looked like two trees like trying to climb out of her mouth. It was weird.
Wait. OMG starts in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I'm sort of holding off for 5 minutes.
I already set it up to redirect.
Yeah, I did too.
Does anyone in chat have a PS5?
No.
I told you there was going to be an update.
I gotta hand it to short people.
Short people get updates.
They can reach anything on their own.
That's my fault. I barely play PS5 like every 2 weeks.
Sound like short jokes. Updates.
Like how short?
Like, I don't know, any sort of short, because it would be an update.
I'm tired of people saying America is the stupidest country in the world. As an American, I think Europe is the stupidest country in the world.
How American of you.
Where's Baker? Baker!
Where is Baker?
He's playing patty cake.
He's sleeping.
You know, he's listening to it right now.
He's
and
playing
wearing his
patty
ear.
cake with Jessica Rabbit. Hey, that's what you ought to go as. Wait a second. That other chick's name's Jessica, too, isn't it? And she's
Yeah,
redheaded.
Jess. Yeah.
The other chick?
Wi-Fi.
Really?
It's Wi-Fi.
There you go. Wi-Fi Chrome.
There can't be two. I had a hard enough time remembering your name.
This is Junior.
No, if I say that, though, it's like your kid.
Yeah.
That's weird. I can't do that.
Just call me daddy.
Triggered wants you to stroke
I don't
the
wanna call you
mic
daddy.
stand more. Triggered said stroke it more for me, Shizzy.
Stroke what more? Oh, this right here.
Mike's then, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm playing with the
Big
Velcro
Black
on it.
Shaft. You know, that's a good movie. Did you guys like it?
Shaft? That was a great movie.
With James Earl Ray?
Yep. The original Shaft was awesome.
No, one with the
Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah.
Okay.
From Star Wars. That's what I thought. It's James Earl Ray.
No. Samuel L. Jackson. He did the new one. The original
Yeah,
one
who
was
else
still
is in
good.
that?
The new one? No, I don't. Probably would, wouldn't you say? Who was? Jason Bateman?
Paul Allen. No, Patrick. That was Christian Bale's name in American Psycho.
I
But
hadn't
it's the
thought
same
about
character.
that. I did not really. I didn't even remember that. Stop it, Shizzy. Stop playing with the big black pole.
He's gonna clean. He needs you to stop.
What?
Slow
European?
down.
I'm triggering Oz. Sorry.
Oh, is he in Australia?
Yeah.
Why is Australia called Oz? Because you have to take a hurricane to get there?
Rocky like a hurricane.
Triggered. He's in the chat. Triggered. Why is it called Oz?
Yeah.
Because the Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy's not from
Duh.
Australia.
Yeah, he's got that accent.
No, he's from England.
They all have the same accent. They're like the same people.
No, they're not.
What's the difference?
They're the criminals that got sent to be in the land down under.
Yeah. Once Georgia got freed. Once Americans freed Georgia from the slaveholders.
That's right. Richard Roundtree.
England.
Because we ain't Aussies. We're Aussies. The way they pronounce it is from. So we're from
Do
Oz.
they have cows there? Or like buffalo?
Yeah. They have cows, not buffalo. They have cattle.
Well, like when you like go there, okay, you get off a boat, right? It's like, oh, hey, I found this place. Well, like, you get off the boat in America, and there's like buffalo running around. So like you have a good source of food. What do you eat in Australia? Everything there eats you.
Well, what doesn't you eat it?
You ever
Except
notice how
walrus.
skinny Aborigines are? We should give them rice.
Should. Be right
Did they
back
have
for just a
corn?
second.
Why did he leave?
No.
No, it's just you.
Why are you scaring
me.
everyone off, expert? What's wrong with you?
Been doing it for days.
Jesus.
I know. I'm sorry.
It gets all laggy on me. So weird.
What was that word?
AC/DC. So is the Bee Gees. They're from Australia.
Killer Bees?
Bee Gees.
No. So did Johnny Depp win or lose? He lost in Australia, didn't he? He had
No,
to,
it wasn't
That was-
Australia. It was
redo his-
England. That was England.
Oh man, so much stuff to keep up with. Does he still live there? Wasn't he
The
a pirate
UK?
over there? Did he
I
go
thought he was
like
living in
full pirate?
France. Wasn't he living in France or something for a while?
Yeah. Where's Baker at? He can explain to us all about
You
Asia.
guys stop picking on Captain America. I'm not picking on him. I love him.
See, everybody likes Johnny Depp.
I was talking about you. Oh, MG started. Have a good night, everybody. Make
Have a
sure you
good one.
smash the like button on both of our streams.
I love a butter biscuit.
Dropped a grumpy, pardon the term, onto the bed